3.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new story. We are back in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition with a new narrative and a new team. In the upper left-hand corner, with the burb icon, it is me, Neuro, in this story known as Kyle of the Kenku people. In the upper right of Cockeyed Gaming, we have, you may introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Pig. Jared, how you guys doing? Are we introducing characters or just who we are first?
Just a basic intro of you and your character. And then
All
we'll
right,
get
we're
to
going
the
straight into
stories
the
after.
characters. Sorry, just getting everything going. How are we doing? I am Nigel, born from nothing, an orphan starving and begging for survival on the streets. At the age of only 8, I drew the attention of the master wizard Nivik Cinderell, who sensed my innate magical talent and brought me to the Lonely Spire. Since then, I have devoted my attention single-mindedly into study of all the scholarly arts and delved into the mysterious and sublime realm of magic. I dare say that I am probably the most knowledgeable and magically adept 22-year-old in the world. Master Cinderell says that after 14 years locked in a tower with only the company of books and a half-mad wizard, it is finally time I ventured forth and learnt what the world has in store for me.
Seems like a good start as any. It's good to have you in your wizarding ways. I think you're the most magical of us by a huge margin.
Of course.
We're also joined with a tiefling rogue, I believe, even with some horns sprouting out in real life. That's real dedication.
Yes, I grew these over the past week.
That's awesome. It's a pretty fast rate. You have to have a lot of milk, right? Calcium makes those, huh?
Yes, let's go with milk.
Well, who are you then? What's your story?
Well, my name is Mendax. Not that it's much of anyone's business but mine. If you didn't already know, I am a tiefling, or at least my father was. I've no idea who my mother is. She apparently got a little knocked up. Only slightly. I was of scurrilous birth, and you can imagine my mother's family's surprise when these things poke out of her. In fact, I dare say you could probably imagine her surprise when these two things poked out of her. A little uncomfortable. That what happened from there was, as far as I know, from what I've been told, I was given away to a troupe of actors led by, Scott Butel. I'm assuming most of you've heard of him, right? Scott Butel.
Of course.
Oh, I'm very surprised. He's a piece of shit, and I usually take delight in people saying no, they haven't. I get a very real sense of personal satisfaction knowing that he's an inconsequential bastard. However, he was a piece of shit. He led the Delirious Owls. I learned the arts of acting, the finer points of acting, costuming, rampant drinking from them, up until the point where I decided it was time for me to learn from whence I came. Also because I'm a terrible actress. For every time I lie, I have a gag reflex. It really limits your options on stage. It truly does. So I've left the Delirious Owls, and I have also left having two, centered horns on my head. And I'm currently questing to find my original family, my true family. Don't know why. We'll see what I want to do when I get there, but that's my quest at the moment.
Awesome.
It's good to have you on the team.
And for me, Carl.
Hello, I am Carl of the Kenku people. We are avian, but flightless. Long ago, our god cast us out and took our wings for seeking what was forbidden. And who wouldn't? Everyone knows that forbidden knowledge is the most powerful and interesting. But hear this. My flock repeated the same cruel, unforgiving casting out that our god did. And for what? Drinking a potion. Granted, it was a forbidden potion, but our flock was under attack. If you thought the potion might give you strength in a moment of desperation, wouldn't you take it too? I was raised to fight and was better than most. I was nothing of great status, though, and stood no chance against these ruffians without some kind of edge. So, what did I do? I went straight for the big box of potions. There were mostly healing potions inside, but there was a unique one that read, "Do not touch, extremely dangerous." So what did I do? I drank it. And boy, was it delicious! I've never tasted something so spicy and tangy in my whole life. I felt a huge rush of power, swelled in size, grew in strength, and felt an encompassing, burning rage. I became the greater threat, and with my halberd slew two and drove the rest off. I was a hero. Or so I thought. When I looked to the rest of my flock, they were trembling. I thought they would be inspired or thankful, but they were filled with terror. Our elder even accused me of drinking a forbidden potion, which I did, and being possessed by a demon. Can you believe that? After attempting a variety of exorcisms, cleansing rituals, consecrations, many of which were unpleasant, by the way, it was decided that I could no longer live with the flock. They thought I posed a greater danger than my presence was worth. So I was exiled until whatever is within me is purged. But why should I? I like being strong. I would drink 10 of those forbidden potions if I could get my talons on them. Now I mostly work odd jobs here and there. I do well as hired muscle, a messenger, and a scout. If you're in a tight spot, call upon Carl to figure it out. My rates are great if you pay in potions.
That's a heckin' clap for me. Awesome.
And
We have,
our
as you
dungeon
can
master
see-
this time is Apoptosis 808, the myth, the legend, the Goblin King, one of the characters in our previous campaign. Now he has taken up the reins as the dungeon master storyteller. Welcome. It's an honor to have you. What's
Thank
going
you.
on?
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Looking forward to rolling once again with you guys, and a big welcome to Ash Poliskin this time around. Was not a part of our Age of Anthems campaign that we did last time, but excited to have you here with us this time. So welcome everybody. Great to see you all again. And yeah, I think with that, we should just get into the heckin' story, man. I mean, I don't know what better to do. So I'll do a quick little lore that I had written up just to set the mood, as it would be. So, Cobra, if you could put up the world map that I have prepared and teased out, I think that would be awesome. All right. So to be born in the land of Tolmarak is a curious fate. It is a cruel twist of destiny that might see your life ended by the edge of a blade or the horn of a beast, rather than the slow march of time. Monsters, both natural and not, roam the land, pillaging and gutting the towns that cling to order and life. Bandits stalk the streets, ambushing and attacking trade caravans, while untamed beasts move about the forest, unchallenged and unmatched in the east. To the west, the icy lands of Daggershelf play host to creatures deadlier than its frigid waters, while the southern, necrotic and decayed peninsula, lorded over by the keep of Scolia, has been curiously silent. The world sits on the point of a knife, with any side threatening to upset and destroy the balance. This is the world of the gods, both new and elder. This is the time of ruin and strife. This is Tolmarak. Our story begins in the humble town of Lakewood. Their primary source of income is fishing, as the massive lake that borders their town is rich with fish, least of all their regional delicacy, the Lakewood stonefish. A mighty fish with scales as tough as rocks that need to be specially skinned in order to safely eat. The lake itself is enormous and not easily traveled due to the winds and sandbanks. At the far end of the lake town is Mount Silver Peak, which ends the lake with a massive cliff face. The town, though small, makes for itself a comfortable living by catering to travelers and exporting this Lakewood stonefish all over the continent. The town has approximately 200 people, governed by the mayor, Thomas Appleberry, a regal dragonkin who has made a comfortable life in Lakewood for the past 20 years. The town's only source of income, however, has suddenly and abruptly been interrupted. And whether by chance or by fate, we now follow Nigel, the young and ambitious wizard apprentice of the Lone Spire, who finds himself on a trail to this very town. All right, so you guys are going to be starting in Lakewood. I'll go ahead and put that map up in our discussion so you can have an idea, and Cobra should have that map available as well to throw up there so you guys can see what the heck we're talking about. And yes, Nigel, so we are following you. You have in your inventory actually a note from your Master Nivix. If you want to go ahead and read it, it's under the equipment tab, and then you just click all, and that will be note from Master Nivix. If you want to read that, you received that about a week ago after he suddenly and mysteriously teleported you to this trail.
All right. So the note, I'll read that out. Good morning, Nigel. You must be confused why you are waking up in this foreign city. You're in Lakewood, a town that borders the eastern coast of the continent. Surely you have learned about this town's stonefish delicacy in your studies. It is time for you to branch out and expand your mind in more ways than only study. I'm exiling you from the Lone Spire for 1 year to allow you to get to know the land, its people, and its problems. I am leaving you with enough gold for room and board in this tavern for 1 week. Then it is up to you to find your way through the world. Explore, be bold, trust more than your cynical mind will allow. See you in a year, my apprentice.
Yes, so Master Nivix has just teleported you, this is a week ago, on the trail to Lakewood so that you can at least make it there within enough time to use that money he's given you and stay in the inn while you kind of get your bearings and understand what's going on. So, like I said, that was about a week ago. You are now just coming up on the town and about to cross over the bridge. So the trail that you're on, it's fairly safe. I say fairly. You have had to definitely duck out of the way of some suspicious-looking people. You've only been traveling by day. You've been camping out at night as best as you can. So by now, your supplies, your clothes, are unwashed, and you're feeling kind of rugged, to say the least. This is the longest you've been out of the Lone Spire in almost all of your life so far. So you're definitely thrown into the fire, as it would be. And you're coming up on this town. You've definitely heard of it before. You've studied it. It's not necessarily a major town, but it is one that is known, like it mentions, for that regional delicacy. You've had it before. You've had it where they didn't do such a great job skinning it, and it kind of was unedible with these giant rocky lumps on it. But you've also had it where it's been done really well, and it tastes like nothing else you've had before. So going up and across the bridge in order to get to Lakewood Town, you see that the gates are actually shut. And as you approach, one of the guards kind of shouts out at you, "Halt! What is your business?"
Why, God, I'm coming here to visit Lakewood and stay in the local tavern.
Can't have that. No visitors. That is what Thomas told me. No visitors at all. We have ourselves a bit of a situation.
A situation? Whatever's
Yes.
going on in this town that you aren't letting
Yes.
anyone travel.
Well, you see, Thomas told me not to let anybody into the town because the blacksmith is gone, the dwarf. So nobody comes in and nobody leaves, you see.
What's the blacksmith being gone got to do with people coming and going? I am the apprentice of a master wizard and I have business in this town. Let me through.
A master what?
A master wizard. Master Nivix. Surely you've heard of his name. Now let me through.
I ain't heard of this Master Nivix before. and he kind of scratches his head a bit. Roll an insight check. So to do that, just roll a d20 and then add what your insight skill is.
All right. We've got a +2 on insight.
Mm-hmm. And tell me what you got.
So we get 17 + 2, 19.
Oh, yeah, easily. You can tell this man is a complete idiot. No idea what he's talking about, and it seems like he's only really repeating what he's heard from other people. So trying to appeal to any sense of intelligence within this person is just pretty much going to fail flat out.
Yeah.
You're not even completely sure if he understands what a wizard is. So, yeah, he's pretty thick. With that, he will also say, I'm only supposed to let people in from the commission, right? That's what Thomas said. They're going to get here, and they're going to look for the blacksmith.
Well, I can see that you are a good soldier and guard here who is following orders. Well, I have a secret that I'm not meant to reveal to many, but because you seem trustworthy, I in fact am here from the commission. But you must tell nobody that this is my business. It must be kept a secret for now.
You're from the commission? Really?
Of course. I wouldn't lie about such a thing.
Do you have one of those rings they always go on about?
We aren't to show the rings, except in the most dire circumstances. I can't show it to you, good sir, but maybe, once this business is done, I might show you.
I love it. Roll a persuasion. Roll a persuasion.
All right, we got a... Oh, I have a +2 on persuasion. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
22. I don't.
Lauren, save these rolls for later, my friend.
I don't know. I just used my 20. No.
You should have sold him something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. I understand. It's 1,000 pardons, my lord. I apologize. Quick, let's get you in to the door quickly. And on his own, he kind of pushes open these massive doors, so you can see that while he's really stupid, he is really strong. So he kind of creaks open this door, this gate that's sort of barring your entrance from the Lakewood town, and ushers you in very quickly. He says, "Oh yes, please, my lord, come into the doors. Let's get you in quickly. You'll want to go see Mr. Thomas then. He is just over there." And he points to this kind of 2-story, not quite a mansion, but it's definitely nicer than like a house. He said, "Yes, Mr. Thomas will want to talk to you then, Mr. Commission Man."
All right. I'll pat him on the shoulder and just walk straight through. Do I see any sign of the tavern nearby as I'm walking towards that house? I'm just going to try to basically get out of eye contact of him and then just go to the tavern and ignore what he said.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so I'll go ahead. I'll drop in the Lakewood town map now into Discord. Cobra, if you want to go ahead and put that up here, it's has the various kind of shops and tavern locations and things like that. So you do see that kind of just across the street from the mayor's office is what they call the Fish Heart Inn. And you do recognize it kind of has some very you recognize the symbols on the outside of the tavern. You're like, oh yeah, that's probably it.
Awesome. All right, I'll head on into the inn and try to get a room.
Okay, yeah, as you're walking away from the guard, you kind of hear him muttering to himself, oh yes, I did very good indeed. And then he closes the doors and, kind of goes back to standing guard against anybody who would dare enter the town. Yes, you make your way to the Fish Heart Inn. On your way there, you can see that, yeah, the town is in a bit of a hustle and bustle. People are kind of running down the street or doing at least a light jog down the street, sort of to the left of the Fish Heart Inn. You can see they're all heading in the direction of the rock smelter smithy. So it does sound like, though, the guard, though an idiot, was he was correct that there is something going on with the town's blacksmith. So do you want to head into the inn, or do you want to go see what's going on? What would you like
Yeah,
to
we'll follow the crowd.
Okay,
Check it
sure.
out.
Yeah, you follow the crowd, and it's not a huge crowd by any means, but this town is not very big. It does seem like everybody that lives here full time knows each other. They know, you can hear the various sort of wives and friends kind of whispering to each other. Oh, did you hear about what happened last night? Oh my God, I can't believe he's gone. What are we going to do? And so you head over. If you keep following the crowd, they will sort of start piling up in front of that rock smelter smithy, or rock melter rather, smithy there. And you see there is a person who's kind of taping the door, not taping, but he's putting these ropes up on the door so that it's people can't enter. And meanwhile, the crowd is sort of encircling the front of the house, or the front of the shop rather, and again, just whispering and murmuring to each other like, oh my God, what are we going to do? This hope is lost.
All right, I will. I'll stride on straight up and look for someone in charge near the roped off area. Look for someone that looks. Is there anyone that looks like they're kind of in charge, not necessarily just like someone who's guarding or anything? Is there someone who looks important, or like they're controlling the situation or the crowd?
Yeah. So basically, there's only one guy that's sort of not among the crowd. You knowing the rough town's population, again, this is sort of information you have from your studies and from what you've been reading in your life. You know that the town, and a town this size, is really not going to have many guards, if it even has an official police or deputy station at all. So you imagine that the guard at the front is actually probably a high-ranking officer of this town. Also, yeah, so there's only one guy, and he's the guy that's kind of roping off that door so that people can't enter the house. And he's not really securing it in any way. He's kind of roping it off,
All right, I'm gonna stride right up to him.
Sure, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sir, I am a wizard of some power and abilities, and I come here to aid your town in your troubles. What is going on here?
A wizard? Here in Lakewood? Well, if that's not strange, then I don't know what is. You've come at a grave time, Master Wizard. Our blacksmith, you see, he's gone missing this morning. No one knows where he is at. I am the sheriff of this town, Figworth, and it is my job to not only protect the people here, but to find any who go astray. And he seems really proud of himself. He is a little bit nervous, you can tell. It sounds like nothing happens in this town for the most part, and that this is probably the most exciting thing that's happened in maybe a few years.
How do you know he's gone missing, Figworth? How do you know he's not just sleeping off a night on the bottle in a barn somewhere? What's got you all riled up? What's going on?
Well, I know because he lives here in his shop. Not much not much area left in Lakewood to make a house, so I know that Rongal likes to sleep in his shop more than not. I saw him at the circus yesterday.
You saw him at the circus, and then you went to visit this morning? He wasn't there, and now you think he's gone? There must be more to this. Was there some sign of a struggle? Were there mysterious characters in the town? What's been going on?
Well, I guess I could tell you. There is a call to help out, a bounty, if you will, posted by our noble Mayor Thomas. Well, you see, he missed a shipment this morning. He was supposed to deliver a shipment of scrapers to the fish and fin mongers. Are you familiar with our town at all, Master Wizard?
A little. I know about your industry, and I have tasted some of your more interesting exports.
Yes, delicious, if I say so myself. He kind of has a weird way of speaking, where he like just kind of stops randomly in his sentences. He doesn't really have a flow to the way that he forms his words. It's almost as if he's reading from a script that he can't really see too well. Yes, of course. A missing shipment to the fish and fin mongers, you see. He was supposed to deliver a shipment of scrapers. Without him, our town cannot sell these fish to the nation. They're specialized. Only he knows how to make them. I know that he's gone missing. I've looked through every house myself. He doesn't like to venture out into the woods, and he keeps to himself mostly.
Well, Sheriff, you're in luck. I am a wizard, and with some investigation, I may be able to help you with your troubles. Are you happy to accept my aid in this endeavor to find your blacksmith?
Fortune and favor indeed, Master Wizard. We are being smiled on that you should come so readily in our time of need. And he kind of like forces this weird smile. You don't really know what's wrong with him. It seems like he's just a very peculiar man. Yes, of course. I unfortunately do not have the manpower to look for him beyond the borders of this town, and I fear that something nefarious may be at work.
Do you have any leads that you could share with me?
Leads, you say? Well, and he is going to... We're going to make a quick roll. What has he found? Okay. He will reach into his pocket and he'll pull out a crumpled piece of paper. And he'll say, the only thing I found in his house this morning, it's about, we'll say midday. So he's probably been at it for maybe 3-4 hours if he says, he found it in the early morning. The only lead I found was this piece of paper, but I cannot decipher its words. And he'll hand it to you.
Okie doke. Can I read it? Is it in common?
Sure. No.
It's not that simple? Damn.
Not that It's not a common, but good try. No, you can't read it. It is this strange gobbledygook of symbols, and doesn't even look like it necessarily forms a sentence. It's almost like a picture made of symbols. You have no clue what it means.
And it's just ink on paper, right?
Yeah, it's just ink on paper.
Okay. Well, Sheriff, thank you for sharing this. I will be getting bored at the local tavern and taking rooms there. So if you find any more information, please come and share it with me.
Yes, of course. Come see me later in the day, and I can show you this house, if you would like to inspect it for yourself. I unfortunately cannot do so now, for we have a prisoner that I must watch over. Ta-ta!
A prisoner, you say? Wait, is it in any way related, or just some local mischief?
Yeah, so with that, Mendax, we're actually going to switch to you. So you wake up. It's midday, and the light is streaming in, hitting you in the face. And kind of in a very splitting headache, you remember what happened last night. You You've just arrived to this town after getting a tip from one of your kind of informants that Thomas Appleberry has a small fortune located in a safe in his office. And after attempting to go through this information, this tip came through by means of the circus that was in town yesterday. So you've left your circus, you've left your kind of traveling band, but you still have contacts within the circus scene. They're sort of a roaming band of thieves and rogues, as you know. So it's not odd for them to give you any more to give you tips every now and again. But as you're making your way at night, while Thomas was supposed to be at the circus, you kind of you made your way through the window and found yourself being grabbed by two guards. So it seems like this tip was actually a setup, and the last thing you remember is kind of this splitting pain in the back of your head, which you can quickly put together was them hitting you with a club or some blunt object. So you wake up, and the sort of acrid scent of unwashed floor and bed hits you really quickly, and you realize you're in jail.
I sit up slowly and I look around and I call for a jailer.
Yes, you'll call for a jailer. Let's see. Yeah, you don't even necessarily need to call for one. You can see someone sitting kind of right outside the bars at a desk, kind of just writing something down.
He's writing something down. He's not paying attention. Did they take all of my equipment with them?
Let's see. You are you definitely do not have your weapons, but let's see if you are able to sneak your thieves' tools. It's like a small pack that you might be able to slip in a boot or something like that. These guys aren't super smart. So why don't you roll a d20? You're going to do a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
We'll see if you were able to do that before you kind of went out, or if you had that prepared already. We'll let luck decide.
10.
No such luck. Yeah, so you check all the usual spots to see if you have any handy lockpicks. You do not. You do not have your weapons. You do not have your daggers. All you have is basically your clothes.
All right. Well, then I call out to the jailer. Hello? Excuse me. Awake in here.
Yeah, the jailer. He doesn't move. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't turn his head. He kind of just continues sitting there. He's just writing something down. You can't see.
Well, I look around the room and I get up and I check the window and the door to my cell.
Okay, so you don't have a window, but you do have sort of the cell door. They are fairly thick bars. You do feel pretty confident that you would have been able to pick your way out of this lock had you have your tools. Unfortunately, without anything like that on you, you don't see a way you're going to get out of this cell so easily.
Then, is there anything in the cell with me besides? Is there a cot? Is there a pillow? Is there a rock on the floor?
There is some hay on the ground. There is not a pillow, and there's a bucket.
How long can I throw the bucket through the bars and hit the jailer in the head with it?
No, you can't. It won't fit.
Damn, well, I go and inspect the bucket and inspect the handle on it.
Yeah, it's a shit bucket.
That works on so many levels.
Yeah.
Does it have a handle I can remove to use to pick the lock of my jail cell?
It has a handle. Whether it can pick your jail cell or not is up to your abilities as a rogue, we'll say.
Okay, then I remove the handle on the bucket, and I take it
Sure,
over to the lock.
Yeah, you start kind of trying to pry off this metal. It seems like this is a really old bucket, that it's not really kept in the best shape. It's pretty gross. Your hands are slimy and pretty dirty. It's not the worst situation you've been in. You've been in some pretty other dicey ones, having to go through sewers of towns, but this one sucks pretty bad. But yeah, you managed to dislodge. I'll say half of the handle. It kind of just breaks in half as you're trying to get the other one, but you're able to get like half of it.
Okay.
And yeah,
What?
you can do whatever you want to try to do.
All right. Well, then I would like to walk over to my jail cell door, slip my arm around the bars, and attempt to pick the lock with the slimy, shit-covered half handle of the bucket.
Perfect. Okay, so go ahead and roll a sleight of hand with advantage. So advantage means you're going to roll. Actually, no, you're going to roll it with disadvantage. You don't have your thieves' tools that would have normally made this an easy thing. So you're going to roll this with disadvantage. That means you're going to roll 2d20 and take the lowest result.
Okay. 18 and 13.
Okay. So we're taking the 13. Yeah, you're able to try to like wedge this in here, but it's not necessarily. You think you could have gotten it, but the handle itself starts breaking off and actually breaks off kind of inside of the lock itself. You're able to dislodge the piece that broke out, so they won't necessarily know that you've attempted to do something, but you don't think you're going to be able to pick the lock of this door.
So is there anything else in the room? As I'm looking around, I see my hay.
Mm-hmm.
I see a cot with no pillow.
Uh-huh. Oh, no, the hay is your cot.
Oh, the hay. Oh, sorry.
You woke up on near the hay anyways.
I start fishing around in the hay and to see anything that could be underneath it.
Okay. All right, sure. We'll do a roll here. Ooh. Nope. More hay and then some stone.
So it's a stone floor.
Mm-hmm.
Is there still shit in the bucket?
There is.
It's already on my hands. Can I throw some of this shit at the jailer?
This poor jailer. Yeah, you can try.
Well,
Is that what
if
you're
he's going
do?
to ignore me, then I'm going to throw shit. I throw shit at the jailer.
Okay. You throw some shit at the jailer. Yeah, he gets up and he kind of like wipes the back of his head, and he what the fuck? Smells it a little bit, and then he turns around and he's glaring at you, and he doesn't say anything, but he just points. He just points at you really sternly, and then he points to the blackjack that's kind of on the table, and then he like wipes his hand off on some rags that are around, and then he picks up his stuff and he walks away.
So there's a blackjack on the table.
Mm-hmm. The table where he was sitting. He's kind of threatening you. Like, if you do that again, I'm gonna beat you up.
Is there any more shit in the bucket?
Yeah, we'll say. Not really. You made a shit snowball out of what was in there and did your best.
I would like to
there any
place
way
more
I
shit
can-
into the bucket.
Do I have to go?
No, you don't. And on that, we'll switch to Neuro. Yes. So, Neuro, or should I say Call,
Carl.
you have been in Lakewood for about a week. You've been here from your travels south from Balor Fall. That is where you are from. That is the town that you've been exiled from. This exile happened only 4 months ago, so it is something relatively fresh. So you've made your way down south through the forest, picking up odd jobs here and there, tailing with caravans and other trade carts, offering them protection, not really getting paid, but getting food and rest, and there's more safety in numbers traveling through the forest. It's not really wise to travel through the northern end of the forest alone. And you've known that. So yes, you've been in Lakewood Town for about a week. You two just awake, but your awakening is a lot nicer than Mendax's. You are also on hay, but you have a much more of it. It is fresh, and you have kind of a makeshift pillow. You have been helping out at the Greenfinger Farm, and doing some kind of heavy lifting during the. They have a very small farm, but the owner of the farm, Greenfinger, is a bit of an old man, and he cannot really till the fields anymore. He cannot cut down the straw and the other hay or wheat, and so you've been helping out with that along with the other sort of passerbys to for room and board, essentially, as you really don't have any money left, and you're trying to save up enough or get to a spot where you can afford a journey to leave and go somewhere else. But you awake, and your sort of compatriots that you've talked to a bit, you don't really know them super well, are sort of whispering in the corner of the barn about, "Oh my God, did you see what happened? Did you hear what happened this morning? He's gone. I cannot believe it."
Pray, who is missing?
Oh, Carl, you haven't heard?
No.
Rongol the blacksmith. He's gone missing overnight, as if in a cloud of smoke.
You mean like, poof?
Yeah, just like that.
What?
We
He
don't
was
know.
magic?
There's a large gathering over at the blacksmith's now. People are whispering all manner of rumor. Some say he got fed up of the town and left. Some think he got taken. We don't know.
Oh, it sounds like more fun than tilling fields.
Well, and they have talked to you a bit. They've been there. They got to Lakewood, and they've been helping on the farm before you got there. So they've sort of shown you the ropes on what you've been doing and how to, this is how you cut down the wheat. This is how you move all the dirt. And so you do have a bit of an open rapport with these people. And they know that you're trying to save up money to leave. This is about as far as you could get on your journey south, and you had to stop in this town. You had to find some kind of employment. It hasn't been what you wanted to do, but you're living, you're not hungry, and you have a nice roof over your head. So they said, yeah, I believe actually that Thomas has posted a bounty, or rather a reward, for anybody who has information or can even find Rongol himself.
Sounds more suited to my skill set, to be honest. What do you think? Do you think I could go look about real quick? You wouldn't tell on me, would you?
They'll say, I don't think Greenfinger's going to notice. I believe he's in the town himself right now. We're pretty ahead of our work, so if you want to go check it out, we were going to go down.
Well, let's go together.
Okay. And yeah, the three of you, so it's you and two of your kind of farmer buddies, or whatever you want to call them, are making your way downtown, walking fast. And people are, they're whispering. They're kind of frantic. It's a little bit past midday now. People are freaking out a little bit. And yeah, they're making their way to the blacksmith. A lot of the crowd that was there once when Nigel arrived has dispersed, but there's still some onlookers. You can see that the door is like banded over with rope. Nobody will get within like 10 feet of the house. They kind of are respecting the space as much as they can, while still satisfying their curiosity.
Don't know how much you know about Kenku, but our curiosity is never satisfied. I need to know what's inside.
Okay, yeah, what are you gonna do?
I would like to try to find a way in.
Sure. I mean, it's just bound by rope. There's no like lock or anything on this house. So if you wanted to, you could certainly make your way in through the front door. Do you want to try to look for side doors or windows? What's the route that Call wants to take to get into the smithy?
Probably a subtle approach. Can I go around the house?
Yeah.
Where I won't be in view of everybody all at once?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. I'll go around.
Yeah. You'll make you make. Do you say anything to your friends, or you kind of just knock off?
I need to go poop. Keep watch.
And I'll go around the house.
Though, yeah, man. Okay. Thanks. It's fucking birds, dude. I don't get it. But yeah, you make your way around the house. Go ahead when you make your way to the back side of the house. So if you have the map up, and you see his house kind of borders the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have it.
Go ahead, make a perception check. So that's D20 plus your perception skill. Let me know what you get.
17 plus 3. 20.
20.
So perceptive.
An excellent roll. Yeah, you see that there is some windows on the back side of the house. There's no door, but you notice, however, that there is some mud that's kind of up on the side of the house near the window. And upon looking closer to it, you see some kind of trails that lead into the water.
Trails from the house into the water?
Mm-hmm.
Is it like a boat
Trails
landing?
from the... It looks like it's a trodden path. It's not as smooth and like singular as a boat would be when it lands on like a shore. It would just make like kind of one smooth, nice indent. It looks like maybe a bunch of people were walking back and forth, or maybe a horse, something like that. Like a bunch of...
Can I go into the water and look around? Is it clear enough water?
Yeah, let's see what the weather and what the water is like today. Yeah, you can see into the water. Lucky you. It's a relatively still day. The water itself is pretty clean. It does kind of come up to this bit of rocky embankment. So there is some mud and some sand that kind of seeps out into the water, but these rocks, for the most part, keep the land from eroding. It looks like people put the rocks all around the island so that it wouldn't erode the land with all the waves. But yeah, you can see into the water. Yep.
Okay. Can I see anything that would indicate maybe he was dragged out through the water?
With your skill set, you wouldn't necessarily know what that looks like. You can tell when people have maybe walked through a path, but you wouldn't necessarily be able to tell the specifics of it. So you can't really make heads or tails of whether or not somebody was dragged or whether this is even related at all.
It's true, I'm no expert in aquatic kidnapping.
Can I climb through a window?
You can try.
I would like to attempt to climb through a window.
All right, so go ahead and roll a d20 for me. We're going to see if the window is unlocked.
Natural 20.
It's unlocked.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can kind of jimmy it open. It's kind of a little swollen wood from the salton sea, if you will. But yeah, you can... It's not very quiet, but you don't have much fear of getting detected. You're in the back of the house. There's a bunch of people talking and clamoring at the front of the house, and there's no one around. So yeah, you push the window open. Bing, bada, boom. You can climb in the house.
I will climb in the house.
Climbing in. You're in. It's dark.
Do I
and
have?
cold.
Dark and cold, but I can probably see enough that I can walk about.
Yeah. Let's see. Kenku. Not that it really matters here right now, but yeah, Kenku, I believe, even have dark vision, so you can see pretty dang well.
Okay. I would like to inspect the upper floor. See if there's anything
Okay.
that stands out as out of the ordinary.
Yeah, you go to the upper floor. This is sort of the living quarters of the house. This is, you can see like a bed. You can see some relatively nice drawers. I mean, nothing super fancy, but it's also not too ramshackle. Yeah, it looks actually pretty tidy. I mean, it's not like the king's coming through. They didn't prepare for that, but it doesn't. There's not bed sheets thrown over the house and upturned tables by any means.
Are there any books or documents or anything? Papers, notes left behind.
Let's see. You do see some books on the bedside table and on one of the kind of drawers / dressers. When you go and inspect them, though, it's more of like, like metalworking and yew. It's all kind of blacksmithing books or fishing books, and nothing that seems particularly related to disappearing.
So that's a 2-story place. I could check the lower floor as well.
Yes, the floor that you went in through the window.
Let's go there then.
Okay,
Go in the window,
you're
go up
back
the stairs, go
down.
down the stairs.
perfect. You're back down the stairs.
I would like to see if anything is out of place.
This is where the main blacksmithing would be done.
Yes, so this is, you see that there is the door to the front of the house, which is sort of directly ahead of that window. That is obviously shut, and it's not really making any noise, and that's from it being kind of tied together with this rope, if you will. But yeah, you see an anvil, you see a forge, you see what you assume people use for smithing stuff. You see kind of unfinished, what you assume is unfinished pieces, and then some more like finished scrapers and hooks and horseshoes and stuff like that. There's no like swords or armor or anything like that. This guy does village work. He doesn't really make epic style stuff.
If I were a blacksmith and I worked from home, sometimes I would be sick of people. So what I would do is make a trapdoor to hide underground. Is there a trapdoor?
Roll your perception. No.
I rolled an 8.
Especially no. You do, with that 8, though, notice that by the window, when you come back down the stairs, you do see some muddy footprints.
Where do they lead? These footprints.
They lead up the stairs, and they also lead into the anvil room.
No respect for their floors. Muddy boots always traipsing about.
But they don't lead to any particular endpoint. It's just kind of no regard for the
No,
floors.
not necessarily. Make one more perception roll for me real quick.
A 2.
Jeez Louise. Okay. Not happening.
You're not sure what day of the week it is.
No, yeah. Well, with a perception of 2, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're blind, but you do not know what a blacksmith's place really looks like. You assume it looks like this. So if this was complete in disarray and has sign of a robbery, or if this was completely upkept, you have no idea. You're not really sure.
I have no time for this. I will climb out the window. I'm done.
Okay, so climbing out the window, yep, you're able to do so with ease.
Can I go back to the farming buddies?
Sure. Do you want to shut the window?
Yes. I will shut the window.
Okay, you shut the window, you go back around, your farming buddies are gone.
Oh. Now they're missing too.
Is there
Well, you figure they just left. I mean, it took you probably, with perception and sort of investigating and things like that, they take roughly, like a few minutes per time you do that kind of roll. So you've been gone maybe 10, 15 minutes.
Is there anyone else present?
Yeah, there's crowds. There's like a small crowd.
Good people. The blacksmith isn't home. What are you waiting for?
People kind of stare at you. We know. We're really concerned. Is this funny? This isn't funny. This is bad.
It is bad. We're looking for him. Give us a clue. Do you have a clue?
They're gonna stop talking to you. They're not a huge fan of you.
Apparently they'd never seen a Kenku before.
No, they have. They just don't like you.
But I don't like them either.
Well, fair enough. Anywhere else you want to go in particular? Or you did hear about from your two farm buddies that there is a bounty that Thomas Appleberry has posted. You've seen him around, but not super often. And you know where the mayor's office is.
I will, feeling rather dissatisfied with this whole experience, go to the mayor's office.
Okay.
All I found out is that the blacksmith doesn't take care of his shoes before he walks around his house.
Perfect. All right, we're going to pause you there. We're going to go back to Nigel. Nigel, you have been at the inn. That's where you were going right after, right? The blacksmith, you wanted to head to the inn.
Yes, to get a bath as quickly as possible.
Understood. Yeah, so you walk into the inn, you hail the innkeeper. Right, what's all this then?
I need a room and I need a bath right now. I've been on the road for a week. I stink, I smell, I have good currency, and I need to get clean.
Right then. It's a golden night. Includes your food, includes your bath.
Sounds good enough for me. Show
So
me to
he
my
wants
room,
to-
good sir.
Oh, he says up front.
Up front. I slap a gold down on the table.
Okay, go ahead and minus that from your total currency.
Yep.
I think it's 10. Yeah, for the sake of ease, we could go into like gold and silver and copper. Everything in my world is just going to cost gold, okay? So just everyone knows. So it's about a gold per night. That is a fair value to you, just so you know, Nigel, you're not being like ripped off. You're not being, you're not staying at the nicest inn in the world, but you're also, you're in an okay one. Yeah, so he goes, right then, here's the key to your room. It's upstairs, third door on the right. As for a bath, you can have Matilda draw one up for you. Matilda! And this lady will come out from the back. Right, what's all this then? And she'll look at you, Nigel.
Well, good Matilda, I would like a bath as quickly as possible, please.
Did he pay the gold already? And he'll look over at the innkeep. Yeah, draw the bath then. She'll kind of glare at you a little bit, like she doesn't really like working. And there's like it's not a bath per room. It's like a bath like room of the inn. This is where everyone goes to do that. And you'll see her kind of walking in and out of there, dumping in some buckets of water and sparking up some wood.
All right, cool. I will, just kind of clean myself and get straight to my room and rest and stuff. I guess we can skip through that.
Okay. Yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah, so you go back to the inn, you get your room for the night. It's not a particularly busy inn. and it's also only midday, so people are kind of out and about. They're trying to get about their business, whatever reason they have for stopping over in this town. And it's not really like a season in which visitors would come to Lakewood. It's like an off season, if you will. So there's nothing really spectacular happening. Yeah, but you're able to take a relatively nice bath. You feel like she put a bit of salt water in here as well, but you can't tell for sure. Like they're kind of not using all of their nice fresh water for you. But you don't know for sure. You've never taken a saltwater bath. You don't know. And yeah, you're able to go up to your room. You just want to rest for like the next few hours. What is your plan after resting?
Yeah, basically, I just want to rest and head over to the mayor's office and then back to the house potentially, depending on how that goes.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. Okay, great. Yeah, we'll pause you there. We'll go back to Neuro for now. So, yes, Call. You make your way to Thomas Appleberry's house, office, whatever it's really called. You walk in, and you see again. There's sort of people that are looking really frantic. This is a big deal. You can tell. Like it's one missing person, but this is a very important missing person for the town. They're kind of losing their shit, their proverbial shit. And there is a secretary type person. You don't really know if that's exactly who she is, or rather he. You don't know if that's exactly who he is, but he's like frantically filling out paperwork, kind of shouting orders at someone, handing some missives off to other people. He doesn't even notice you're there.
Excuse me, person. I must speak to Thomas Applebottom at once.
Okay. Yes. Of course, Thomas. Do you have an appointment? Where's my appointment book? And he's kind of like shuffling some papers around, looking for a book.
No, I do not have an appointment.
Right. Okay. Yes. Fill an appointment out rather, and he will see you as soon as he can. We are a bit busy today. You'll have to excuse him.
I've heard there's a bounty. You're looking for a missing person, and I want to offer my services. I've heard it's
And he'll
pressing.
kind of. Oh, go ahead.
I've heard it's pressing.
Well, yes, it is pressing, and he'll stop, and he'll look at you. Let's see, what is he gonna say? He'll stop. He'll give you his full attention for the first time since you've walked in. And he'll look you in the eye and he'll say, "I don't recognize you. Who are you? And why do you think you can be of some service to Thomas?"
My name is Carl of the Kenku people. Why do I think I'm of service to you? Because I'm quick, I'm strong, I'm smart, I'm driven, and I could use some coin. And this town is in upheaval. It's a mess. People are just standing about, panicked. I would like to see this resolved. And I believe you would too. What's stopping you from sending me on the quest?
Yeah, roll a persuasion check.
19.
A 19. Okay.
Ooh.
All right, 19. He'll kind of scratch his head, and you can tell he's not really sure what to make of you. He'll go, well, I guess. I mean, what's the harm? And he's kind of weighing his options, almost mumbling to himself before he looks back up at you again. Okay, right this way, sir. And he'll lead you down the hall, and there's nobody really down this hall. Everyone that's shuffling around and running around is at the front of the office, and they're sort of running in and out the door, moving papers to and fro. And he'll knock on. It's a pretty nice. It's a fairly ornate red door, and he'll knock on it first before just opening it slightly. And he'll go, Thomas, are you available? And you'll hear sort of this deeper voice from inside the room. Yes, what? Thomas, I have someone here about the bounty. Okay, send him in. Yes. And the secretary guy will kind of open the door and put his hands and show you in. And he'll close the door behind you. So you go in. You've seen Dragonborn before. They are, if you're unaware, as players, Dragonborn are literally like dragon humanoids. If dragons were to just walk around and be like human shaped, essentially, they have scales. They're pretty giant, and the color of their scales notes what flight of dragon they're from. Without getting too in depth with that, he is from the red dragon flight, which has more particularly to do with fire and that sort of nonsense. But he'll look at you. He's kind of finishes writing something. You see stacks of paper. You see dusty old tomes and books that have been kind of pushed aside. You see there's stuff strewn about the floor, actually, around his desk, as if he's pushed things off in haste to make some room for the notes that he's trying to write or the letters he's trying to go through. And he'll look at you and he'll go, okay.
My name is Carl, sire, and I have come here because your town seems to have a problem which my skills will be more suited to than the farming work I've been doing. Now, I'm a barbarian of the Kenku people, and I've heard that your smithy is a-missing. Do you have any clues, any leads, any rewards for finding him and restoring this town to its proper peace?
Barbarian, you say? No thanks. We need an investigator.
Are you assuming that a barbarian is unable to investigate anything?
Are you telling me you are an investigator and a barbarian?
I'm a birdbarian. Of course we can investigate things. The Kenku are the people who kept the forbidden secrets. That's all we do is investigate. Our curiosity is our own demise.
Well, you're something, all right.
Thank you.
And he'll kind of shake his head. Oh, what's the fucking point? It doesn't matter anyways. Yeah, you can go to the deputy station. He'll show you the house. If you think you can help, go for it. There's 60 gold coin for anybody who can bring him back alive.
Thank you for your help. I look forward to resolving this matter for you swiftly.
Yes, please leave. And he'll go back and he's just writing, like, he just assumes he just talked to like a kid, like, who thought that they could do some good work or something. And he's like, oh yeah, sure, whatever, great, see you later. It's someone else's problem now. Yeah, so he tells you, yeah, if you wanna try to help, you can go to the sheriff's station.
I would like to do so.
Okay, so we'll pause you there, and we'll actually start converging a little bit. Yes, Pig, it has been a decent amount of time since your bath, since you rested. You weigh in your head, yeah, I could probably go to the sheriff's station now. You feel, kind of recharged from your travels, thankful to have a comfortable bed to sleep in again, and it's a godsend that you've taken a bath. So you're all intents purposes happy.
I feel much more hygienic.
Yep. So do you want to head over to the station, or that was your plan, right? Once you were rested up.
Yeah, I was gonna hit the sheriff and the mayor in whichever order. So we can just go straight over to the sheriff's office and hit it
Mhm.
up. What time of day would it be by about now?
Yeah, we'll say, judging on where the sun is, it's probably mid-afternoon, maybe 4 p.m., 5 p.m., something like that.
Cool. Yes, I will walk over to the sheriff's office and try to see if he can investigate the house he wanted to show me, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds good. So you will arrive to the sheriff's station just maybe moments before Call has made his way in. So you see the door kind of shut as he enters, and you walk up to it. And you head in, and yeah, the sheriff's station itself is pretty small. They kind of have a front, I guess, a front desky area. It's almost too fancy to call it a front desk sort of reception area, but it's the area that doesn't have the prison cells, which are a little ways back in the hall. From what you can surmise, if they even have prison cells, that you're not even entirely sure of. But yeah, sitting at that front desk area is a bald-headed man, which is the one that Mendax threw some shit at earlier, and there is the Sheriff Figworth, I believe is what I named him. Yep, Sheriff Figworth is there, who you recognize, Pig.
All right. Good day, Sheriff Figworth. I am much rested from my travels and ready to solve this mystery in this town and solve your woes. Together, I'm sure we can find the blacksmith. Have you found any more clues? Do you have any more information to share with me?
Hmm. Oh, it's good that you've come, Master Wizard. Thank you for coming back and helping us with this matter. Uh, Call, he doesn't really look at you too much. He's assuming that you're here, and who knows why you're here actually. It's good that you've come. No further developments, I'm afraid. Busy sending letters to other towns to organize a search party. Uh, we picked up someone we think might have been involved in the kidnapping last night, and she is in the cell.
Where did you catch her?
Yeah, she was trying to get into the mayor's office, but someone from the circus let us know that she was coming and warned us. So we set up a trap. They saw her coming from the side.
I'm going to roll my eyes a little bit and be like, all right, this has been very productive, Sheriff. I think I will interrogate her alone, if you don't mind. I prefer to interrogate witnesses and suspects on my own. And I think your particular talents are perhaps better suited to organizing these search parties.
Yes, I think you are right, but cannot have you go alone, unfortunately. It is against the rules that Thomas said. So I'll send Samson with you. And he'll poke the shoulder of Samson, and he'll do some like sign language, from what you can tell, and send him to the back. And he'll point like at you, like to follow you back.
All right, I'll follow him along.
Okay. Call anything to interject as this conversation was happening?
No, it was rather boring. I'm ready.
Okay, great. Yeah, Pig, you are able to go to the back. Call, you're standing in the front. Yeah. What do you want to do, Call?
I would like to inspect the place for any items, weapons, maybe some potions.
Yeah, sure. Give me. Nah, you don't even need to give it a perception. You're not looking for anything hidden or anything like that. There are like two decorative swords on the wall behind the sheriff's counter, if you will. There's it's like a low half wall, has that stereotypical swinging type door to keep people on the outside, or at least feign that there is some blockage or barrier in the way. And behind him on the on the wall. There's the 2 decorative swords. If you like, you can kind of see over the top of the desk. You can see there's tons of paper strewn about. There's some leftover food, crumbs. You see a mouse skittering in the corner. You don't see any potions unless they're drinking it out of like a goblet.
Could I initiate conversation with them and ask about potentially having some, consumables and goods to keep you going through this search journey?
You're asking for stuff for yourself? Or
Yes.
okay. Yeah, what do you want to say? You can talk to him. Sheriff Figworth is right there, still hasn't said anything to you. And he's just chilling.
Good
He's
Sir
laughing
Sheriff.
back.
My name is Carl of the Kenku people, and I am here to help you with this missing person. And I was wondering if you had any items, such as potions, elixirs, tinctures, on staff, on hand, that you could share with me so that I could look after myself on this most perilous quest.
A quest, you say? Well, what kind of quest?
Your blacksmith is missing, and you have 4 people in this building now who are either linked to it or looking for this person.
And you want some consumables? And he'll kind of like look around, kind of confused, and then look down at the table and like break off half a piece of bread. Here you go. Consume at your leisure.
Thank you. Actually, I love bread as well. I'll take this. And I will use the strength of this bread to find your missing man.
Yes. Very good. Have you seen Thomas?
Thomas, Bottomsworth? What was his name?
Thomas Appleberry.
Oh, yes. Yes, I saw him. He said 60 gold coins.
Yes. He is a very generous mayor. And so you have information? What are you doing? I'm confused.
He referred me to you to lead us in the right direction. He told me the bounty price and said to go to the deputy's office, which would be, in fact, this office, to speak to you about where we should go.
Yes, I am the sheriff. You are right. And so is Thomas. Yes, they have, or rather, we have a prisoner in the back that we believe to be linked to this investigation, who the master wizard is now talking to. And also, we have the house of the blacksmith. What do you want?
A map? A direction? Is it that way? What? This is the slowest moving town in the world.
He's not you can certainly tell he's not really great at putting anything together, anything that requires like linking 2 thoughts. He's super single-minded in nature. What direction do you want to go? North or south, east or west? Do you not have a compass?
I'm having a difficult time working with you. Give me a moment to gather myself.
I would like to.
Of course.
I would like to just take a small sip of a healing potion that I have on my person at this time. Not enough to consume the whole thing, but just to, keep myself level.
Do you have any healing potions?
No, I should check my pockets.
I don't think you do. You have some water.
Then I will take a sip of that.
Okay, deal. All right. What do you want to try to do? Do you want to try to go to the blacksmith's place? Do you want to try to go and talk to the prisoner as well? Or are you wanting to try to do something entirely different?
I would like to go with the other 2 The one in the cell in Follow the Wizard.
Okay. Yeah, he'll say, "Is that all, or can I help you with something else today?"
Sir, I think it's best that you help yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. And he'll just go back to writing papers. So, you want to? So, what are you gonna do now?
I would
Are you
like to
gonna
go.
Try to go back there?
I would like to go over to Nigel and tell him something.
Yeah. Okay. He'll kind of. The sheriff will look at you. And then he'll just go back to what he's doing. Yeah. So you catch up to Nigel. He's made it to the back of the hallway. We'll say that conversation didn't take super long. And if you kind of briskly jog, we'll say, to the back of the hall, you will be able to catch him before he gets to the cell. What did you want to do? What did you want to say?
You there, the wizard. You're a wizard, right?
Of course.
You've got a sharp wit, right?
And a strong staff.
I need to
What
tell,
of it?
I need to tell you a secret. You mustn't tell a soul.
I'm all ears.
Simon is
Tell me,
Simon is, like,
Birdman.
right next to you, just to let you know.
Who is?
Simon, the guard that was gonna go with Pig. Nigel.
Can I whisper quietly enough that the guard won't hear?
Yes, you can roll. Roll investigation. Since you didn't put it together quite yet.
13, and I have
Okay, you
plus
can-
4 bonus. Holy smokes!
Yeah, so 17. You're a very good investigator, apparently. Yeah, you know from the earlier conversation and from when Nigel kind of walked in that Simon is probably deaf. He was signing to Sheriff Figsworth, and Sheriff Figsworth was signing back. Yeah, he's deaf. He can't hear what you're saying. You think, anyways.
Your name is Nigel, I believe.
Yes.
I think this quest may be way more difficult than I believed. And do you want to know why?
Why?
I think the sheriff is a buffoon.
Finally, someone with a sharp tongue and a sharp wit in this shithole.
They move so slow
far.
here, I can hardly stand it.
It's good to know at least the bird people here aren't slow of wit as well.
It's
I was
called
starting to
Kenku,
think the whole town
please,
was
thank
enchanted.
you. There are multiple kinds of bird people. I'm a Kenku.
A Kenku?
Kenku.
Yeah, so
I've read a
Big
tale
Q-
of your kind.
Yeah, you know about the Kenku for sure.
You look different to the illustrations in the books I've read.
I don't know about these illustrations. There are many different kinds of Kenku. Some of them large, other ones small. Some of them with lots of feathers, others not so lucky.
Fascinating. And what's your name?
Carl!
Well, good to make your acquaintance, Carl. Are you here also looking for the blacksmith?
Yes. I already went into his house. I climbed in through his window.
Ah, I was planning
And
to
I'll-
head there next.
On that, we'll say you guys have arrived to the cell. It's not a mile away, so we'll you guys have made it there. Sitting in the corner on the stack of hay, generally being pretty displeased with the situation and cursing under her breath, or maybe just as loudly as she wants to, is Mendax, a tiefling. So you are both familiar with tieflings, kind of half demon, half humanoid people. They get a bad rap for being evil, and it's not uncommon for them to be put in jail for things they didn't necessarily do. In this case, it does sound like she was trying to break into a house, from what you can tell, so probably fairly appropriate. Simon, the bald deaf guard, will kind of just nod his head, and then he'll point at Mendax again, and then point at that blackjack because he already really does not like you. And then he'll sit in the corner and watch you.
Careful, boys. Give me 20 minutes after eating some of this hay. You could end up like Simon.
Did you throw poop at that man?
No one was here to see it.
Why did they lock you up?
They locked me up. I don't know why. I was just in the wrong part of town. Innocently, complete. Oh. All right, I was in a house. I was trying to rob it. I heard there was a large treasure trove there, and I went to rob it. I was hit in the head, and I woke up here, and I'm fairly certain I know who sold me out.
So you're saying you were interrupted in the midst of a perfectly legitimate robbery?
Absolutely, 100% legitimate.
You poor creature.
Thank you.
Well, we kangaroo, we rob things all the time. It's an honest line of work.
I prefer to call it domestic foraging.
Oh.
Well, you might be in a bit more of a spot of bother than you realize, Tiefling.
Why is
They
that?
seem to think that you, in the midst of robbing the mayor's house, were somehow trying to abduct the blacksmith from his house on the opposite side of town. I'm not sure I can see the logical connection, but the people of this town are none too bright, and they seem to have assumed you're part of what is causing the uproar in this town.
Well, that is one thing I can guarantee you. I have no idea where that blacksmith is. I have nothing on me other than these clothes. I couldn't hide him on me if I wanted to.
This is the first time you're hearing of the blacksmith disappearing on Mendax. No one's told you anything about it, so they're like, blacksmith? No idea.
Never heard of him. Why would I have taken the blacksmith? This happened on the same night.
Apparently.
I've just arrived in town, apparently last night. But it is has the town in uproar. Apparently he holds the secret to the entire town's wealth. And without him, everybody seems to be losing their minds. How long have you been in town? And besides honest burglary, what else is your business here?
Well, if you must know, I actually am an actress. So I most of the time acting. I came into town with the circus and was a performer. And that is my trade normally when I'm not engaging in not burglary. It is domestic foraging.
The circus has been in town for maybe 2 or 3 days, and then it left. Last night was its last performance.
Mm. So 2 or 3 days I've been here. Although the past 10 hours or so, I think I've just been hanging out in this cell, throwing shit on occasion and breaking buckets. Who are you two, and why are you even asking me? You're not the sheriff, and you're not Simon.
I'm only here because I'm bored and I don't want to do farming. This seemed more interesting.
Who could blame you? Farming is stupid.
I'm just excited to be out and about. And the first tiefling I've ever seen before. I'm curious. Is there a tail underneath that garb?
Well, buy me a drink first, and maybe I'll show you.
Ooh, spicy.
Ooh.
It's actually quite a rude question, and also, yes, there is a tail. Most of us have tails.
Oh,
Most
I'm
of us
simply
are-
excited. I've only read about your kind before, and I wish to know more. But right now, I'm not sure how we can help you in your current predicament. I feel like there is something urgent happening with this blacksmith, and I have to attend to this business and try to get this reward. 60 gold sounds like it'll go a long way to helping me with my future. But seems like you're stuck here for now.
Nigel,
Well,
I have an
in the
idea.
don't you think it sounds a little bit odd? The circus dips out on the same night that a blacksmith goes missing, and out of the three of us, I would say that I have the best contacts in the circus. I also know where they're going next. I could help you with that if you help me with my problem.
Oh, are you saying that you think the blacksmith was working as a blacksmith but always secretly desired to be a circus performer?
Specifically a lion tamer, but yes.
Oh, I see.
No. No. We'll go with that for now, though. Yes, I think it's a good chance he could be with the circus, if this is what you're telling me.
And you
But good luck.
you didn't tell the sheriff that you had information and you could help them and maybe cooperate with us, because then we could get you out of that cell.
Well, the sheriff. Nobody told me that the blacksmith was missing until you came into my cell, smelling of shit because you walked in here with Simon, not even offering me a rag to wipe my hands with. How could I have told the sheriff a thing?
That is most unhospitable of them. I'm sorry.
Truly it is. Do they know who I am? Obviously not.
They
I've never
don't-
been thus treated in my life.
They don't know which way is west. They need help.
Lots of people need help, and I'd be willing to help you in your quest if you be willing to help me get out of this jail cell.
So, Nigel, what you say? We go tell the sheriff that she knows where he is. We get her out. We go, we do the quest. We get the 60 gold. We split it. 20.
Your words make sense. The people in this town have already driven me crazy, and I've only been here for one day. You two both seem to actually be able to string a sentence together without 17 strange and odd pauses and the inability to connect two thoughts. I suppose we can work together.
Good. Let's get on with it.
Yeah, so what do you want to do exactly?
I propose that I simply ask the sheriff to release her as an informant who will lead us to clues, and that we will take custody. He seems rather dense, and sure we can convince him.
Okay. Sure. So you go back to the sheriff call, are you going with Nigel, or are you sticking back with Mendax and Simon?
I will not go toward the sheriff. I already tried to talk to him and it didn't work.
Okay. Right. So Nigel will head up to the sheriff's alone, and you'll tell him that you think that you can get the information as far as where's the blacksmith out of the criminal if you release her. Is that right?
Yes, I'm gonna just head up to him and say, Sheriff, I have good news. There is good information and a solid lead here. Your prisoner has agreed to lead me to information. We believe the circus that she accompanied into town may have taken the blacksmith, and I have deputized Carl, that Kenku, to come and join me, and we will, the three of us, go and bring back your blacksmith. But you must release her with us to come on this journey. She is the one who knows about this circus, the inside and out, and she can help us bring the blacksmith back here to your town and end your woes.
He'll look confused, which is not very surprising to you, because you're essentially telling him like she is the one who maybe had something to do with this, but we should let her go. So roll a persuasion check. Trying to persuade him against something he wouldn't necessarily think to do on his own.
We got a 6 + 2, 8.
He'll kind of think for a long while, almost a little bit longer than you think he should be thinking about this simple request. And finally he'll say, I don't think that is a good idea. She is a prisoner, and if what you say is the truth, then she will betray you, and I don't want that to happen to the new friend wizard and the bird.
Sheriff, I am a wizard with great and mysterious powers, and I can see the future before me. I need you to trust me. We will keep her bound at all times and under lock and key until she proves her honest will. You must hand over the key so that we can take her out of her prison now.
Go ahead, roll another persuasion. See if this one lands any better on him than the first one.
That's a 1. Natural 1.
Okay. Nice. Let's see.
I think we're going to have to go to Carl's backup plan on this one.
He'll say, I cannot do that, Master Nigel. I'm afraid I am the sheriff of this town and therefore protector of the people. We must wait until the commission arrives to the town. It should be no longer than a week, and they'll know what to do.
Fair enough. I'll go back to Carl.
Okay.
So, how was it?
It didn't go according to plan. The sheriff refused to listen to the voice of reason. Perhaps you two roguish characters have some more ideas?
Oh, I could scold him.
I would actually love to see that.
Well, then I'll be off.
I would like to go and scold the sheriff.
Okay. Okay, so you're gonna you go up to the front. The sheriff, the poor sheriff, is trying to just write some papers, and he's being accosted. What do you say to the sheriff?
My good sheriff, is this your first year on the job?
No, this is my 15th.
Did you realize that there is a young woman in that cell with information on the whereabouts of your missing person, and you have her locked up and not being interrogated?
That is not true. You have interrogated her.
I've interrogated her? I've scarcely
Yes.
spoken a word to her. She was all gagging because she's ill, and we can't inspect the information that she has when she is all sick and stuff. You know. She needs to go to a hospital so that she can be properly interrogated.
Well, we do not have a hospital
An
here.
infirmary? A doctor?
I can get the butcher surgeon.
A butcher surgeon? She's not a piece
Yes.
of meat, she's a person.
Well, to be fair, Mr. Bird, everybody is a piece of meat.
That is the creepiest thing I've ever heard. Are you a serial killer?
Nope, I am the sheriff.
Well, we will be traipsing about your office until you let us resolve this issue, and frankly, I'm out of patience. There are a clear set of steps we need to follow to find your man so we can resolve this, and you are standing between us and justice.
No, I only want to help you not get hurt. I don't want to see you betrayed by this criminal. She was going to steal, and she was stealing on the night that the blacksmith was stolen. So I do not want to see you stolen or stolen from.
So you are
It's
saying
for your own good.
you would weigh theft over kidnapping of a person in the eyes of the law?
What? That kind of confuses him. Theft and kidnapping, they're the same thing, just different objects.
Oh, you make me furious. Think of it this way.
Mm-hmm.
You've got two options. One option gets me out of your face. The other does not. Do you like talking with me?
Yes.
No, that didn't work at all. I've about had it. I need to go speak to Nigel.
Good luck.
I would like to do whatever the equivalent of flipping someone off, giving them the bird as a kenku would be. I'm not sure. I didn't read the lore enough.
It's the same. It's the same. It's the same. So yes, you leave in a huff. Yeah, and you head back to Nigel, all frustrated, and it doesn't seem like without at least any more information or another good reason, he's really willing to let out Mendax because he feels kind of out of his league and that he needs to wait for someone else to essentially tell him what to do.
Okay. I assume that didn't go well. You look rather pissed.
I'm furious. I'm about to punch someone. I did everything in my power save from try to seduce him and try to beat him up.
Looking around the cell, the room we're in, are there any exits without going past the front, past the sheriff?
Where Simon is sitting, the hall continues down and turns a bit, so you don't know exactly what's down there. But there is a window that's kind of directly in front of the cell. That's where, and there's a desk there. That's where Simon was sitting at earlier in the day.
So we could probably, like, it's a big enough window to climb out of if we're standing on the table.
Yeah, I mean it's not a giant window, but it's probably you could probably squeeze through. None of you guys are especially large.
So, Carl, I feel like we're trapped in a bit of a bind. And, you know, I was always a fan of the saying, the ends justifying the means. So, I could always just charm old Simon here. We could get the key off him, release Mendax, climb out that window, be on our merry way. And if we come back with the blacksmith, I'm sure all will be forgiven.
Yes. Do it.
And just note of a warning: he does not like shit. Whatever you're trying, it should not involve shit.
Okay, Nigel, you heard the
duly
lady.
noted.
No poop smells. And no poop spells.
Awesome. All right. I will try to. I'm gonna. How long would it take to cast Charm Person? That's like one action. So I mean, ideally, I'd start casting it kind of from behind Simon. Basically, I just want to not be like standing right in front of him, super obvious. But basically, I just want to use Charm Person on him if I can.
Okay. Real quick though.
Yeah.
Roll a. Let's see. Just roll a straight intelligence check. So roll, d20, add
We've
your
got-
modifier.
Yeah, I got a +5. So.
Oh, that's the saving throw. So just add 3 to it. Just your straight modifier.
All right, saving throw. Okay, yeah, 16 plus 3, 19.
Okay, 19. You come up with this plan, and it's a pretty good one. But you realize before you kind of start casting your spells that you do not know the sign language that Simon speaks. So you don't necessarily know that you can talk to him. You can still definitely cast that spell if you want.
That's right, we'll play charades. We're going to cast it on him and play charades.
Fair enough. Yeah, let's just see how that works. What is your... let me just read it over here again real quick. Sure. What is your DC? What's your spell DC that you have? Your save DC. I think it says it at the top of your spell area.
Save DC is 13.
13. Okay, so because you are doing this on somebody who is not willing to have this happen to them, he will be able to make a saving throw.
Yeah.
And if he passes it, I don't believe it affects him at all. Yeah. Okay. So let me try that out. Oh,
Yeah, and I'm trying to cast it
fails.
from behind him if possible, so
Yeah.
he doesn't notice if it fails, kind of thing.
You don't have to make any grand kind of gestures with it, really.
I can just kind of mutter under my breath, right?
Yeah, sure. We'll say that's not a problem. Make some quick symbols with your hands, mumble some things under your breath, and yeah, he's failed. You can feel the spell take hold of this individual named Simon. He kind of stands up and is like,
Simon. And now, key, door, open.
yeah, he kind of makes some signing back to you and turns his head.
So I'm gonna keep kind of signaling the key for him. Keep trying to do a key as much as possible. And does he just keep responding?
Let's see. Can you roll a performance check? And see how good you are at playing charades today.
All right. That is a 10 plus 2, 12.
Yeah, sure. That'll be good enough. He'll kind of slowly nod his head, and he'll pull the key belt that he has, and then kind of shrug like, what do you want? Like, key? Yeah, key.
Pass the key to me.
I would like to help doing this. Over to him.
Let's see.
When it wears off, he'll know I've charmed him anyway. So
Yes,
I'm just
he
gonna
will, but
get
it
the
will
key
last
off him.
for an hour.
Yeah,
Okay.
1 hour.
Regards you as a friendly acquaintance. Simon give a friendly acquaintance the key to the jail. Yeah, sure. I like the creativity with this. We'll say he hands you the key, and he kind of nods, like,
Awesome. All right. I will take the key, unlock the door, and throw it open, overcoming the biggest obstacle that we have encountered thus far. I feel like I have completed my first quest as a wizard roaming the world and journeying these lands. We've opened a door. Now let's get the hell out of here before my spell wears off.
You do. You feel very proud of yourself. You actually are like, yeah, I can fucking do this, man. Yeah, you throw open the door. Simon is like, what? Kind of shrugging, like, whoa. But yeah, he's not gonna necessarily stop you, though. He's very confused of the situation. Made more so by the fact that nobody can actually speak to him or can tell him what's going on.
Well, I'd like to pick myself up off the floor, and I'm going to walk through the jail. Thank you very much, Nigel and Carl. I can see this being a very excellent partnership. I would like to wipe my shit-throwing hand off on Simon's shirt, though, before I go any further.
I will roll. Let's see. Roll an intelligence check real quick for me.
An 8.
An 8. All right. Do one more thing for me. Roll an Arcana check. Nigel? Did you tell anyone you were going to cast this spell?
Yeah, I said to Mendax and Carl.
Oh, okay. Yeah, roll an Arcana check. That's fine.
19.
19. Okay, so you have a vague recollection that the way, well, let's see, would you even know this? Yeah, we'll say you do. Simon regards Nigel as a friend, not you two. That's it.
Okay.
And so, if you still want to do that, go for it.
Nigel, can you have your friend hand me the bottom of his shirt so that I can wipe my shit-throwing hand on it?
To be honest, this is my first time ever using this spell on anything other than
Fair
a
enough.
small creature or test subject, and I don't really know how he'll take that. He does consider me a friend right now, but you might want to use that hay bundle in the corner.
Oh, fair enough. So I'll go ahead and do that. But I cannot leave here without my things.
What things?
I need all of my weapons. I need my domestic forager's tools. I had a nice satchel of things when I was accosted last night, and I need to retrieve those before we go anywhere.
Okay.
So I look around the room, and I'm searching under the table and desk that Simon was writing on earlier to look to see if anything is there.
It's not.
Balls.
I guess there's some sort of safe room. Carl, I mean, we're gonna have to get the hell out of here quickly. This is probably something we should have identified where it was before starting this. Where do we go from here? Do you think you can search the rest of the place and find it, Carl? If I walk her out the front, if Mendax goes back in front of the sheriff, then I think we'll be in trouble and we'll have to run very quickly.
With that, you'll hear a call from the front. How goes the interrogation? And you'll hear some footsteps. It's been probably about 10 minutes since you have been back here and have been working and talking and figuring things out. And signing to Simon took a good amount of time.
I will go speak to him.
Okay, see if you can find the location of her items as well.
Yes,
Get him to show them and give them over to you.
yes. Simon, my good man. You're a smart man. And I'm looking for something, and I believe you know where it is.
Are you talking to Simon the deaf guy, or are you talking to the Sheriff Figworth, the guy that's walking towards you?
The sheriff's not named Simon.
Nope. Simon is the deaf bald guy you charmed. Well, Nigel charmed. Sheriff Figworth is the other guy.
I would like to address Sheriff Figworth as Simon this time.
Okay. I'm not Simon. He's in the back. Let's go and get him.
Wait, I had a question. I was wondering, the items of this prisoner, there may be a clue within them. And I am versed in what is known as the arcane. The arts of the forbidden, the secrets that are known to few. But if you know how to interpret them, there may be information hidden inside. Where are these effects so that I may inspect them?
Roll a bluff because you're lying to him. You're not versed in these arts.
I do have +4 proficiency in Arcana, so it's not a full lie.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I rolled an 18.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, that is a good idea. That's a smart thing to think of. I'm surprised I didn't think of it myself. Her belongings are in the storage room in the back. I can take you there.
That sounds most enjoyable indeed. Thank you for accompanying me.
Okay, he starts walking to the back of the room past the cells.
Would that cause
I-
us to go past them?
Yes,
I'm
it
ki-
would. You're
I'm
not
kind of
quite there
keeping
yet.
lookout, and if I see them coming, then I'm gonna Mendax, get back in your cell quickly. Close the door. Pretend it's
Okay,
locked.
I jump back in and I close the door.
Oh, I like this. Yeah, so the storage room you gather, Call, is probably back in that hallway that weaves around to the right after the cell. And you asked him to take you there, so that's the direction he's walking. Are you going to try to stop him? He's almost to where the cells are. Did you guys discuss that you were going to go back in there at all? I don't think so, but
We didn't discuss that they were going to go back into the cell.
okay. So you don't know that that she's back in the cell. What would you like to do?
So he took me where the effects are?
He is walking down the hall and is about to come in front of the cell, about to round the corner to where the cell is at. And then past that is the storage room. So in order to get to the storage room, you have to walk past the cell where Mendax and Nigel are at.
So I would like to announce kind of loudly so that they can hear that we're going through this area.
Oh, yes, I love inspecting quarters in various sheriff's departments, the storage areas, the cells. It's all laid out in such a nice way.
Just being very loud.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely can hear that, Nigel. You definitely hear that, Mendax, and you go, quick, get back into the thing. Do
I'll
you?
also lay a calming shoulder on hand on Simon's shoulder, and I'm just kind of eyeing him to see. I'm just trying to give him a reassuring look to make sure he looks like he's not going to cause a ruckus, and just to kind of, does he look kind of docile, or does he look a little bit on edge, or like he's going to react to things?
He is confused. He's confused essentially why his friend would be busting out a prisoner or opening the cell door to a prisoner and then closing it again. I mean,
Well,
you can't
yeah.
necessarily tell. You can roll an insight. And
He
try
just
to
looked a little
read his
confused,
body
then I guess.
language.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like, I don't understand why this is happening.
All right.
But you can roll an insight, and you can try to read his body language to ascertain if he's gonna cause fuss.
We got a natural 0 on that one.
A natural 0?
How do you roll a 0?
It's impressive. Did you throw the?
I'm
dice
very
outside
confused as well.
Are you using a dice roller?
Oh
On that?
no, there we go. Okay, sorry, it was 3. Sorry, I was reading it wrong.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I'm so confused right now.
Me too. Yeah. I mean, he looks confused. That's really about all you can figure from that. Yeah. With that, they'll turn the corner again. Call, you kind of go first and look around the side. Like, did you pick up what I was laying down? You see Mendax is back in the jail cell. Okay, fine. And and yeah, Sheriff Figsworth will walk back there too. Yes. Hello, Simon. And he'll wave, actually. And he'll say, hello, Nigel. And then he'll walk past you guys, so long as nobody interrupts him or does anything. And he'll continue to go to the storage room around the side.
Can I pull a fast one?
What kind of fast one are you trying to pull?
Oh, Sheriff. Did you hear that? Oh, it was nothing.
And I will follow him into the area.
Which of these effects would be those belonging to the prisoner?
Yeah, no, didn't hear anything. Right. Yes. And he'll take you into the storage room. He'll take out a key and unlock it. And he'll open the door, and you see it's basically just a blank room. There's nothing in there except for one table and then a pile of belongings, which those right over there.
Oh. Let me have a closer look, if you don't mind.
Nope. You go ahead.
Thank you. For the Kinku.
I would like to go and inspect the goods. They all look to be hers. They're not like a bunch of other different people's stuff. Those would be like a full set of her items.
Yeah, you don't know necessarily. You can figure like this looks to be probably about one person's worth of carrying things, but as far as 100% confirming that it's hers, you don't really have that info. Yeah, you see a few different weapons. You see a pouch of money. You see some various kind of random looking tools. You don't necessarily know what they're for. Crowbar. Yeah, you see a good amount of gear as if this person was packed to kind of be self sufficient for a while.
Did you hear that? Oh, Sheriff,
Yes.
was that the front door? I believe someone is here. Kenku ears, they're very keen. We have the most keen ears of all the birds.
I'm gonna remind you of something that you can do. You can make the sound that that front door makes with mimicry.
Did you hear that?
Perfect. Let's see. He does get a check to see if he can realize that it's coming from you and not the door. But it is not very easy for him to succeed. Let me just take a look at it real quick. Where is that located? Racial traits. Here we go. Make a deception check, Mr. Cole. Tell me what you get, and I will roll as well.
13.
Okay. Oh, you're right. Someone is knocking at the door. Well, I'll go and see who it could be. And he'll leave.
I'd like to take all the goods. Get them into my pouch.
Yeah, you have like a backpack.
Mm-hmm.
It is pretty heavy, and your backpack is now super stuffed, but you can barely fit everything in. You kind of have to hang the lantern off of it. You have to maybe just shove a few things in pockets that aren't really able to seal completely now. But yeah, you have all the things.
Good.
I would like.
Okay.
If he's out of view, then I can just leave. Yeah.
Yeah, you can leave. I mean, yeah, it probably takes you maybe a minute to do all of that, because it's a decent amount of stuff. It's a fair decent amount of stuff on the table. Make a perception check.
12.
9 plus 3 is 12.
Let's see. Okay, Nigel, make a perception check.
That one actually is a natural one with, I guess
Good
the
lord.
plus doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah. You finish bagging up the gear, and is that all you want to do in that room, Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Okay, as you leave the room, the Sheriff Figsworth turns the corner again. Nobody at the door. That was weird. Guess it's one of those crazy kids.
So I would be passing by the sheriff on my way out, correct?
Uh-huh. Yeah. I mean, if you're leaving. He'll see you, and let's see if he realizes your bag is twice as big.
Can I initiate a very nice conversation with him to occupy his mind?
Sure. You can try to occupy his mind. What are you gonna say to our
Sheriff. I asked you earlier.
Yes.
I asked you earlier for some potions, and you had no potions. But you gave me something. Something I will never forget. You gave me a piece of the best bread in this town or any town. And I won't forget that. I won't forget that nice sheriff who gave me that tasty bread.
He'll smile, which is like the first time you've seen him actually smile in the entire time you've talked to him. Oh, yep, that is my bread. That is Figsworth's very own bakery done bread. I fancy myself somewhat of a baker.
I will never
The
forget your
bread was
kindness.
not good, by the way. It was actually pretty crap, but you can lie, and that's fine. Yes, I'm happy to see. Oh, did you see anything in that nefarious villain's gear?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, it was so nefarious. I should be careful speaking about it, but it did give us a clue that we would need to initiate our search. So I'll just be off with that, and I'll report back to you as soon as we find the man.
Awesome.
All right, and we've seen the sheriff and Carl walk past with the bag now and stuff. The sheriff, and then about a minute later, Carl.
Yeah, are you gonna leave, Call? That you're gonna head out?
I need to leave this place. This man pisses me off.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, you can leave. The sheriff didn't take note of your overly sized bag now, and if he did, he didn't say anything about it. Yeah, you're welcome to leave, and the sheriff will go back to the front and kind of nod and look over his papers and missives again and what's going on.
All right, Nigel, I think we may have to go through that window.
Yeah, let's get the hell out of here.
Right.
All right, so I hadn't even locked the door again, but yeah, we'll open it. I'm gonna put the key back in Samuel, right? Simon's pocket. Here you go, Simon. Be back.
Mm-hmm.
1 minute. And then we're going to... You first, Mendax?
Sure, but I am going to grab the blackjack off the table on my way out.
Roll a sleight of hand.
13.
He will grab your arm when you reach for it, and he'll shake his head.
Fine. I just jerk my arm out using a very well-known self-defense motion, twist towards the thumb, and I head towards the window to crawl out.
Sure. He won't stop you, though he is confused. He is affirmed by his good friend Nigel that everything is okay and that there's no need to worry. Roll an acrobatics check for both of you. So you're climbing through windows. It's not super hard, but I'm just kind of checking to see how gracefully you're able to get out of this window here.
This number generator is broken. It senses that I've been reading books in a tower for 14 years and haven't exercised. It's another natural one.
Okay. Yes, Nigel, you go first. You kind of clamber and fall to the ground. You dirty your clothes again, and you become muddy yourself. How about you, Mendax?
I rolled an 8, and I have a +7 in acrobatics, so 15.
Yep, 15. So yeah, you're able to... Yeah, I mean, you're not doing any pirouettes or flips, but you're able to get out of there no problem. You help Nigel up, and when you do, you see that a note has fallen out of his pocket. You pick that up too, and you recognize... So, Nigel, this is the note that the sheriff gave you earlier from the blacksmith. Mendax, you recognize and can read what this note says. This is Thieves' Cant, which is the secret language of rogues, thieves, and bandits. When you pick it up and look at it, it says specifically, in some gruff voice, "Once you've lifted the dwarf, get back to the cove, or the boss will have your hide."
Interesting. Nigel, do you know what this says?
You know he doesn't know what it says.
I know you don't, so I'll tell you. Don't bother answering that.
You can read this gibberish?
It's thieves' cant. All domestic foragers can read this.
Okay. Do you relay what the note says to him?
Yes, I'd like to tell Nigel verbatim what it says.
Okay. And
It was once you've lifted the dwarf, hurry back to
The cove.
the cove, or the boss will have your hide.
So, does that sound... That sounds suspiciously like that could be where this blacksmith is. We should collect Carl and head towards this cove.
Agreed. Let's circle around the tavern and see if we can find him.
Okay.
Or around the sheriff's office and then towards the tavern if we
I
can't find him.
I should probably avoid the front.
Yeah. Do you have like a cloak or something?
I do, actually, and I just...
Cover those horns up.
You don't right now.
That's offensive. I'm very proud of these horns.
You basically only have simple, like your simple under tunic. Oh, Call has the rest of your gear right now. So your kind of cloak, robe, your armor, things like that. So you're not really going to do much hiding. But on that note, I think we're going to take a maybe 5-10 minute break, something like that. Whatever Cobra Venom decides to put up, and then I think we're going to reconvene right after that.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the first episode of Wayfarers, a new D&D 5e campaign. We are level 1. We just met each other. We're trying to find out where is this goddamn blacksmith. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll be back. And we're back with the first episode of Wayfarers. Carl, Mendax, Nigel, Dungeon Master. Trying to find out where this blacksmith is. We just found a clue. Maybe it's in a cove. Who knows? Carl has a backpack full of goods, and we're ready to set forth on our journey.
Okay, yeah. So, yep, Nigel and Mendax just finished jumping out of the window. Mendax saw that this note that Nigel had in his pocket, which read that the blacksmith is being held in some cove, kidnapped by some form of thievery-related individuals. And then Call has slipped his way out of the front door of the sheriff's department and has since gone where? Where are you going to, Call?
Oh, we didn't set a rendezvous point, did we? Well,
Nope.
should probably go check in on the farm, I guess.
Perfect.
I've been skipping my job all day.
Yeah, and it is a bit later on in the day. It is probably, it's getting towards dusk now. So you're going to head towards the farm. Fantastic. Mendax and Nigel, where are you guys trying to head off to?
Well, it looks like it's getting rather late at night. I have no idea where Carl is. I can't really be seen about. You know, once that charm wears off, they'll definitely be on the lookout for me. I say we need to find some place where we can lay low, hopefully meet up with Carl, and figure out where this cove is.
Yeah. Was hoping he'd hang around outside the sheriff's office somewhere, hence the logical process of circling.
Can I break RP for a second? I was complaining about farming multiple times so far.
Oh, the meta knowledge. I guess I'll allow it. One thing that you would definitely know, Nigel, is your charm person has a range of 30 feet.
Oh shit, that's gonna break them. Oh yeah, of course. All right, this charm's about to break, so we need to get Carl and get the hell out of here really quickly. When we take a few more steps, it's yeah, all hell's going to break loose.
Oh, well, good to know.
Did Simon see Carl being part of it? He was part, yeah. So he's in just as much trouble as we are, so we can't really bail town without him.
No, we don't
I mean, you can do whatever you want, but
Expecting him to catch up with us later because he's not the one who will get in as much trouble. I don't mean to simply abandon our favorite bird person.
Well, that's super kind of you. He also has someone's entirety of their gear, so there's that.
Miss, I can't leave town without my things. We have to find Carl. Where would Carl have gone? You've known him longer than I have. Where would Carl have gone, Nigel?
I met him in the hallway just walking down to your cell, in fact.
So you've known him twice as long then.
I mean, he mentioned he's been in this town for a week working on the farm, but I didn't really hear anything else about him other than the fact that he's just as frustrated with these townspeople as we are.
If he's not here, then he has to be at the farm.
It's
But
as
I
good
have
a
no
direction as any.
Do you know where the direction of the farms are? I was here with the circus for two to 3 days tops, and we don't really get out into the countryside or the farm.
It's not a giant town, and you saw the farm on the left when you entered, Nigel. So yeah, you know where it's at.
All right. Yeah, we'll head in that direction then. Do I have like a cloak or something do I have any, like, can I maybe lend some excess clothing since, I mean, is it nighttime yet? Because if it's daytime, we stand out a lot.
It's getting to be nighttime, but there's still light out. It's sort of the twilighty dusk time. There is still light, but it's not dark, but it's not bright. Let's put it that way.
So
Let's
maybe
just walk purposefully,
Yes.
and I'm sure with a confident word we can befuddle anyone who tries to stop us.
let's go then.
Okay, you guys head off in the direction of the farm. Call, you're going straight to the farm, right?
Yes,
Okay, Call, you get there first. What do you want to do?
I would like to gather the effects, my effects, and the effects of this new tiefling we've met.
Yeah, what would you have left at the farm? Is there things that you don't carry on you at all times? You can grab those, that's fine.
I'm not going to carry my halberd into the sheriff's office.
I don't know.
Well, as a kenku, we're very light birds. We don't just carry a halberd and climb through windows.
Okay, so you head into the barn and you kind of move some hay around to grab your halberd that you hid when you first got here. Yeah, you have all your stuff, assuming that there's no other hidey holes that you have in this barn. Yeah, what would you like to do at that point?
Are the other farmer people still out and about? Are they here? Are they asleep?
It looked like nobody really did work that day. The farm looks basically the same as when you left. It is I guess if it's, kind of a weekend time when people would go out to the inn and maybe get merry and drunk together before returning home. So it's a little early. You know that your compatriots, the inn was a natural and regular stomping ground of theirs.
Well, then I will get all the effects, and I will slowly leave, since it's probably very heavy. Having two
Okay,
people's worth of stuff.
Yeah, it is very heavy. You're carrying literally double the load, so it is pretty heavy. You can't really run for very long or do any of those kinds of actions. So just know that while you have all that stuff on. As you kind of finish getting ready to leave, Mendax and Nigel. Let's see something here. Yeah, you make it to the farm with nobody stopping you. Nobody really cares who you are.
Awesome. All right. We'll go search around these buildings then.
Okay. So you're all three together. What's the plan? You see Call, he's kind of standing a bit out in the front of the fields of the farm with this gigantic comical looking backpack on, and now a gigantic halberd as well. So what would anywhere you guys want to try to get to? Are you going to distribute the gear here?
Mendax!
Oh,
I have
Cole,
your things!
Thank God, I'll take them. I'll take them now. Just hand them over. I'll
Yeah.
carry them. It looks dreadfully heavy for you.
It's very heavy. I had to
Oh.
sneak them past that sheriff. I told him there was something knocking at the door by doing this. So
Wait,
he went
is
and
there-
got the door.
I think somebody's. Is there a door?
Oh, you would make a check. So you, Mendax, roll insight, and Call roll a deception. What
I've
did
got
you
a-
both roll?
4.
18.
You hear a door knocking inexplicably from some random direction.
Was that you? That is amazing.
But you have no idea that it's him. You think it's actually a door somewhere.
Somebody is knocking. Did you hear that? Somebody is knocking. We need to get. What is so funny about somebody knocking on the door?
Well, Kenku don't knock, we just go in. So it's funny when people knock.
Not to
Okay.
break up this happy reunion, but Simon is probably telling the sheriff that we just climbed out the window of the office and the cell. So we'd best try to get out of the gate before they close it, unless either of you fancies hitching a ride in one of these boats.
Are you going to give Mendax her gear now? Or are you going to keep lugging it for now?
I will hand over the gear.
Okay,
I will
so it'll take
accept the gear.
probably at least 10 minutes for you to get everything and put it back in its rightful place. You can, hide out in the barn if you would like to. You can do it in the open. It's up to y'all.
I think we do it in a discreet place near the barn, probably.
Okay, sounds good. While they're doing that, Nigel, go ahead and roll. Let's go with two history checks. 10 minutes of time. You're pondering that note. You're trying to see if you're thinking about it. You're trying to think cove. What would that mean? So go ahead and
Yeah.
roll 2 history checks for me.
2 history checks. All right, I've got a +5 on history, so that's a 15 and a 7.
15 and a 7. Okay, you vaguely remember from one of your from one of your books that you've read over the years, when you were reading about Lakewood and the town and the lake and how it came to be founded many years ago. You even are kind of remembering some stuff about Thomas, and you're kind of almost skipping through it in your head, trying to recollect the book. And you seem to recall something about there being some caves at the north end of the lake that used to be flooded, but ever since one of the summers where the lake kind of dropped a few feet, it has since been kind of known as a easy spelunking area.
What's splunking?
Spelunking is cave exploring.
Oh, right, that's like cave diving, right? And stuff like that. And or just climbing
yeah.
through them.
Climbing through them, going through caves.
Right.
It's a
Cool.
spelunking site, and your knowledge of cave exploration has come in handy.
Was the note hurry back to the cove or the cave?
It was the cove.
It was the cove.
But-
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, cove, cave can be interchangeable. Cove meaning it's just really on
Yeah.
the water.
And you said those caves are on the north end of the lake, as in, are they across the lake from the town? Then you're not on the island that the town's on, right?
Correct. So if you actually, and this would be a good time to bring up the area map that's in the in the Discord chat, and maybe for the stream as well. You see the lake. It's kind of the north end of it ends in these mountainous areas.
Okie doke. Cool. All right, I'll relay that to you guys. There very well may be some good hiding places on the north side of the lake. It could be where perhaps they've lifted the dwarf to. as the note said. Either way, I'm worried that with the amount of time it took us down here and distributing the gear, that the sheriff's already locked the front gate. There's only one way in or out. So I think it's best to find a boat. Carl, you've been here the longest time. Do you know where we can find a small boat that we can row across?
Well, if you look over there, there are 4 boats. I can see them.
There, I don't know if you can see them where you are. You do know that there are boats that are on the docks that are frequently used for fishing and things like that.
Well, you may not know how keen the eyes of the Kenku are, but I can see them.
Okay, great. So yeah, there are some boats on the northern side of the town at the docks, which you're familiar with, Carl. You've walked around the town more than once. You've seen them. You've seen them bring in fish. Yeah, so that's not a stretch for you at all.
One note. We would have to borrow these boats, and I believe the people who own them are probably not there, so we would have to borrow without permission. Is that okay with you?
I prefer aquatic foraging.
Oh, word games.
It's only a borrowing. We'll bring it back.
Good, then I will show you to the boats.
Okay, so 10 minutes go by. Mendax, you've got all your gear. It's all back in its rightful places. You feel definitely more comfortable, more at ease. Your headache has kind of stifled. It's not completely gone, but you can manage through it as best you can. It's getting darker and darker by the minute, and you guys are heading to the north. Are you going to go through town? You're going to go through the sides? What's the path call that you're taking to the boats?
I would like to take the kind of like like kind of on the outskirts, not just going barreling down the main lane. I mean, we did do some questionable things earlier.
Yeah, certainly. You're going to stick to the outskirts of the town, maybe the shore, even where those kind of man-made rocks are at to keep the land erosion at bay. Yeah, you're able to kind of skirt along that side. There's really nothing there. As you go up, you will pass between sort of the lake and the blacksmith's house. Is there anything left that you wanted to do there, or did you want to point out maybe those tracks to your friends?
I will point out the tracks and also point out that the blacksmith wasn't home, and I already checked.
Okay. Yeah, you guys, the tracks, I mean, it wasn't raining today, so they're fairly well preserved. But to you, Nigel, it's like, okay, yeah, there's a patch of dirt there that looks like maybe someone walked on it once. You don't know. Mendax, you're a little bit more familiar. Yeah, you can see like, oh yeah, that does seem like some well-trodden path there, some newly made trail, if you will. Continuing on to the boats then, or anything to do before that?
Let's go to the boats.
Boats. And boats. Okie dokie. So, to the north, you see, yes, the docks where all the boats are docked. You see various size vessels, from large multi-parting fishing vessels to very small kind of dinghies that are just made for maybe some leisurely boating. Let's see. Lucky for you, everyone seems to have vacated the docks. Everyone wants to be at the tavern tonight. There's a lot of gossip with the blacksmith missing. Everybody wants to kind of get the word in edgewise and see what the newest piece of juicy details are on the street. So yeah, there's nobody there. There are a total of, let's say, at the first dock, you see 2 docks where you're at. So 2 kind of wooden platforms that go out into the ocean. There are 2 boats at each. There are 2 large vessels. There's one pretty small one, and then there's 2 kind of small ones actually where you're at.
I propose we take the largest boat.
How many people does a large boat take to actually operate?
I don't know.
Nigel, you can roll a let's see. Yeah, it'd be just an intelligence check here.
All right. That is 15.
Yeah, you've read a few books on nautical sailing and kind of what it takes in order for a crew to man one of these vessels. For the big ones, you would say at minimum, probably at least 9 to 10 people.
It'll take at least 9 or 10 for the large ones. I think we take the smallest thing possible.
Honestly, I think that's a better choice. We need to be able to just, just scoot in there under the radar's not a thing, under their noses.
Good.
Yes. Noses, the pre-radar.
I don't
yeah,
care enough to debate. Let's go.
You can definitely take one of the small ones. Would you like to take one, or would you like to take both of the boats? For 3, it's pretty cramped.
If it's cramped with 3, we're going to need to take 2 boats. Otherwise, if we get the blacksmith, how will we actually bring him back?
It's pretty smart.
Sounds good.
So what are we divvying up between these 2 boats, assuming that's the plan? Who's in what boats?
Who's the strongest looking? Who can row a boat well on their own?
It's Call, for sure.
You know it's Carl.
With those hollow bones?
Hollow bones, big muscles, all the faster to punch you in the face.
Perfect.
And because I weigh less, it's easier to row.
I thought he was a crow person, not a duck person.
It's Kenku. I'm not a goose.
Well, look, I would assume a goose could row a boat. They're often on the water.
Oh. How many times do I have to explain what a Kenku is? Yes, we'll be off.
All right.
Okay.
Then.
So, Call, you're soloing one of the boats, and Nigel and Mendax, you are in the other one. It takes, let's see. None of you would really have any reason to know how to properly row a boat. I mean, it's not like,
I did play a ship's captain on stage once, so I know how to tell someone else to row the boat very well.
Okay. You're doing a fantastic job commanding Nigel to continue rowing the boat.
Grab those oars.
But after a few minutes, you're able to kind of figure it out. You're able to get in sync. Are you actually just telling Nigel how to row the boat, or do you want to help out?
I think I'm just telling him how to row.
Okay. Call is definitely able to row faster than you guys, which is because he's a single person in a boat and is stronger than Nigel. Call, are you gonna wait up, or what are you gonna do? You're outpacing them pretty quickly. You're gonna keep going.
When I see Carl so much further ahead, I finally just jump in to help.
Okay. Sounds good. So yeah, now everyone is rowing. Your combined efforts are able to match Call's. And yeah, you're able to head north. Is somebody going to lead the way, or are you just going to try to head to the northern end of the lake? Well, actually, it would technically be the southern end of the lake, but the edge of the lake. The map is kind of upside down, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're traveling due south.
Yep,
Right. Yes.
Which is
yeah,
towards the mountains, away from the town. Anybody going to take point? Who wants to be in the lead? You guys are not able to synchronize enough to be 1-1. One of you is going to have to be in front.
I'm assuming our very eager Kenku can lead the charge.
Oh, I can go fast, but I don't know where I'm going.
No, but you can definitely see it.
I can't see it. I'm facing you. Because I'm rowing and I'm going the other way.
This is actually very true.
That's how you row a boat.
I've only been a captain.
Just tell me
Okay.
where to go.
We'll
right.
say, call you. I mean, you guys talked about the basic direction that it's at the edge of the lake. It's on the mountains, so you know that you're heading towards the mountains. You can take time between your rowing to kind of look over your shoulder. It's gonna slow you down slightly, but let's do let's do an acrobatics check from you, and then Ash and Nigel will do one from you both as well. Acrobatics. Or you know what? I'll take athletics here as well. If you're better at athletics, you can take that. If you're better at acrobatics, you can do that.
16.
Okay.
21.
Okay.
10.
Okay, that's totally fine. Yeah, you're able to continue rowing without any sort of issue. It is a fairly large lake, and you guys are not rowing particularly fast, but you're keeping a good pace. You think that you'll be able to make it to the end of this lake within a few hours of rowing and resting and rowing and resting. So between that, let's do another 2 of those checks, if you could, just in quick succession here.
Uh-oh.
So 2 more acrobatics checks.
Yeah. Go for 2 more.
6 and 13.
6 and 13 from Call.
12 and 20.
12 and 20 from Nigel.
And 13 and 15.
13 and 15. Okie dokie. So, yeah, you guys are still able to make it to the end of the lake. You start to see some spires. Hold on one second. Let me look something up. And Call, you begin to kind of grow fatigued. You've been going for a good while. You're now rowing a little bit slower. And Nigel and Mendax, with their combined effort, have taken the lead in front of you. At the end, you are starting to kind of wear out for sure, but you're very close to the end. Let's see. Can you make a perception check, Call? And let's see what you get.
12.
12. Okay. What kind of vision do Kenku have? Can you see in the dark? Because it is now getting dark. And that's 12 with your perception, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know where they show your vision. Senses? Could be.
Mine was in racial traits.
Yeah, I see that here. You probably don't have any particular vision then, unless I'm missing it. I looked under your racial traits first. So, yeah, you do not hear nor see what is happening, but you feel your boat getting harder and harder to row forward.
My boat sucks. Why did you get the good boat and I got the boat that sucks?
You basically, at this point, cannot move the boat, and in fact, you seem to be going the wrong direction. Mendax and Nigel, you guys do see this. You're facing him, right? Because you're in front of him, so you're rowing and you see him, and you're like, Okay, something must be going on. You don't see anything out of the ordinary, but you do see that he's stopped, maybe even going the wrong direction.
What's he doing? Do you see this?
What the hell is happening?
It isn't me.
Oh, now he's taking his hands off the oar. Put your hands back on the oars.
Call, is you're kind of turned around and like, I'm not doing anything. I don't know what's going on. A tentacle will come up out of the water and begin to wrap itself around your body. Call, make a dexterity save. So this is using your saving throw, which I think you might have a bonus to. I'm not sure.
Dexterity. Saving throws +3, so 16.
16. You are able to slip out of the grip
Get off of me.
of this slimy tentacle before it fully enveloped around your waist. And you push yourself sort of to the back of the, I guess it's the front of the boat, the opposite side of the boat where the tentacle's at. As you do that, sort of two more tentacles kind of splish splash out of the water. Mendax and Nigel, you are both probably 15 feet away from where Call is right now. What would you like to try to do? Let's actually, you know what? Let's roll initiative for this. So you guys are going to officially enter essentially combat here. So roll a d20, and there's an initiative bonus you have next to your armor class on your main page.
19.
19.
I was looking for my armor class. There, okay. Mine is 15.
Okay, Mendax got a 15. Call, what did you get, bud?
For initiative?
For initiative.
I didn't know I was rolling. I'll roll.
Yeah, you too.
I got a big 7.
Massive 7. Got it. And let's take a look here. Yep. All right. Nigel, you are the quickest to react. What would you like to try to do, my friend?
So he's about 15 feet behind us, his boat. It's kind of wrapped up tentacles. Sorry?
Or in front of you, however you want to look at it.
Yeah.
You're facing it now, yeah.
Mendax, throw us closer so that he can jump onto our boat.
Okay.
And I will try to cast... I'll try and cast Firebolt on one of these tentacles. Obviously, trying to aim it at the base of a tentacle and as far away from our Kenku friend as possible.
Sure, absolutely. You certainly can do that. So go ahead and do a spell attack, which would be a d20 plus your spell attack modifier there.
Okey-doke. So that is 20, 15 plus 5.
Yeah, you are able to nail this tentacle and roll for me the damage.
Okay, so the damage should be 1d10 fire damage.
Yep.
So that is going to be 6.
6, absolutely. Yeah, you sort of stream out this firebolt. Do you cast spells? Do you shoot them kind of out of your hand or out of the staff? What do you like to do?
Staff. Yeah, we'll go staff. Just
okay. So yeah, you plunge the staff forward, and suddenly this flare of fire appears and travels very quickly across the lake. It illuminates the whole area where it is now quite dark. But certainly in a sort of a burst, an instantaneous moment, the area is illuminated. All of you, except for Call, roll a perception check. So, Mendax and Nigel.
Mine's a 2.
Okay.
16.
16. Can you even roll a 2? I don't think that's possible for you. What is your perception?
Oh, so I guess it'd be a 3 with the +1.
Okay, yeah. Always add that plus. Always add that
Yeah.
plus for the skills. Mendax, you don't see, but Nigel, as you're sort of standing kind of at the edge of the boat trying to aim, you see in this kind of flare-up moment this black, very huge shape underneath Call's boat. As you hit one of the tentacles, it singes and scorches, and it sort of flips about really angrily, and that one ducks back into the water. Mendax. Oh, is that your only thing that you want to do? You technically have a move action if you want to reposition or jump into the water if you want to.
No. I'm just
Figured
kind of
I'd be-
standing in the front of the boat closest to the other boat.
Okay.
And, yeah, that's it.
Absolutely. Great show of force. Mendax, you are next. What would you like to do? Nigel has just sort of shot this bolt of fire out of a stick and has told you to start rowing towards Call.
Okay, so I definitely wrote closer to Call, to his end of the boat.
Okay, let's
To
make
get close enough for him to jump.
Let's make an athletics check for you. Let's see how fast you can get this boat over there now that Nigel's not helping you anymore.
It's a 10.
It's a 10. You are able to get the boat about 7 feet. So basically you're half the distance now, but still 7.5 feet essentially out from Call's boat.
Okay,
As
it's a bit
you're,
far.
yeah, it's still a bit far. But that would be your action because you're kind of putting all of your energy into doing this. You're not particularly strong, but you're very agile. But that doesn't help you in this situation, unfortunately.
No.
Are you going to keep trying to row and keep going at that essentially, or do you want to move anywhere, jump in the water?
No. Am I permitted to drop the oars and grab my bow?
Yes, you can go ahead as your move action. Instead of moving, I'll let you drop the oars and sort of just get your bow out. That's fine.
Okay. Then I would like to do that.
Okay, sounds great. So that would be the end of your turn. So your action was basically rowing you that far, and then instead of moving, you're getting the bow out. And so next time you'll be able to take a shot with that, no problem. Okay, Call. It is not your turn. It is our sea friend's turn. And what is he going to do? Let's see here. He is going to try to slap you with one of the tentacles. Let's see. Call, what is your armor class? What's your AC?
17.
17. Okie dokie. Let's see if this guy can get you this time. No, he kind of flails one of the tentacles around, but you're able to duck and kind of lower yourself and flatten yourself on the boat and stay out of the way.
Whoa. Okay.
Fantastic. Call, it is now your turn. 2 more tentacles spring up out of the water, which is a total of 4.
I would like to go into a rage.
You can do so. Would you like to describe what you do to do this?
I reach into my satchel with a set of powerful potions. I would like to uncork one of them and drink the whole thing.
Yeah, you drink this sort of vibrant red liquid that you keep on you, at least a few vials at all time. And you feel the very familiar effects, which first start a bit warm as it courses through your body, and your vision starts to get a little bit blurry for an instant as you start to feel this sort of uncontrollable anger about you as you sort of let out the guttural roar that you do.
First I had to put up with the sheriff.
And now I have to put up with you! Ah!
And I would like to strike at this tentacle monster with my halberd as ferociously as I can.
Absolutely. Make sure that you click one of your uses of Barbarian Rage there under class features just to keep track of that. And then, Nigel, from earlier, when you use that charm person, make sure you click one of the spell slots. But besides that, my friend, you are free to take a strike at this creature with your halberd. You
Don't touch me without permission!
Let's see here. Perfect. You roll make an attack roll. That would be a d20 plus your plus to hit, which is listed under your halberd there.
17 plus 5. 22.
17 plus 5. Yeah, you're attacking one of the tentacles, eh?
Hopefully.
Okay, yeah. Well, if you want to like stab in the water, or are you trying to hit a tentacle?
Well, they're coming up to attack me, so yeah, I'm gonna hit him.
Sounds good. So you slice, and how much damage do you do with a +2 from being enraged?
Okay. It is 1d10 plus 3, so I'll roll a d10
Mm-hmm.
to find out which dice this is. Okay. 7 plus 3, so 10. 10 damage.
So 7 plus 3, and then you get an additional +2 because that's your Barbarian Rage effect.
Oh, so 12.
12, absolutely. Heck yeah, man. You are able to slice clean through one of the tentacles, and this sort of blue ichor kind of sprays into the air for a moment and covers your halberd in this kind of slime before it ducks back into the water.
You
Well
don't
done.
mess with Carl!
I don't recommend it. Nigel, what are you looking to do here? You're much closer to the boat than you were before, and you saw the shape of this sort of large creature lurking beneath the surface. What would you like to do?
Can I identify what the creature probably is? Would that be like an Arcana check or?
That would be a nature check. You
Nature.
can certainly make one.
Cool. I will roll that.
Mhm.
5 plus 3, 8.
You're not quite sure. You
Alright.
don't know exactly what it is. I mean, there's only so many tentacled creatures in the world, but you can't necessarily tell the exact or the specifics of what this one is.
Yeah, I don't have. Was hoping to find some secret to defeating it, but as it is, I think I'm just gonna have to burn it, the old-fashioned way.
It's a good count.
How many tentacles are out of the water at the moment on the boat?
3 currently, as Call as severed one, and it's kind of now floating. And if anybody wants calamari later.
I'd love an excuse to use burning hands, but I think all that would do is set the boat on fire and burn Carl more than it. So I'm not going to do that, and we're just going to try to use another firebolt on one of these tentacles.
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll that attack roll for me. Let me know what you get.
All right, so we got 10 plus 5, 15.
15. Yeah, you are able to, once again, you light up the area in this flash of fire as it connects with one of the tentacles closest to you. How much damage do you do, my friend?
And that is 6 damage again.
6 damage. Absolutely. Alrighty. Looking great. Okay. Any other movements you want to try to make, or are you happy where you're at and you just want to keep kind of chugging away at this thing? You're about 7.5 feet from Cole's boat. You could jump in the water.
I like friendly neighborhood DM says, "Why don't you take a swim?"
Go into the water.
I'm gonna hard pass on that one. Yeah, I think I'll I maybe would say something, but I don't know if Berserk Halberd slashing Birdman's gonna listen to anything right now. I think we're good. I think let's just keep fighting this sea creature. Let's kill this Leviathan.
Fantastic. Mendax, on to you.
Well, I've seen far too many performances of this kind to know that it does not end for well whenever there's 4 tentacles out. 3 now. I would like to sneak attack. And
You would like to sneak attack. Okay.
I would like to shoot. Wait, can I tell how far below the surface of the water the big dark mass is?
You can try to make a perception check. Let's see if you can even see that far down. Let's say you try to ascertain that information when Nigel did the fireball. So it's nice and bright. You're not going to take any negatives to it. Go ahead and make that roll.
Okay. 20.
20. Yeah, he's probably about 8 to 9 feet down.
8 to 9 feet down. I feel like that's too far for a short bow when I'm already 7.5 feet away. So I'm going to sneak attack a tentacle. The tentacle closest to Carl.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love it. Go ahead and make a. You're doing that with the short bow, I'm assuming, right? You're not going to jump into.
No, I'm not going to jump in the water.
Just checking. Yeah, go ahead and make that ranged attack roll.
All right. Let's see. It's a 2.
2, and then you you have +5 to that, so I think total would be 7. Okay,
7.
yeah.
Yes.
You seem very sure in your shot, but just then sort of a rogue wave comes by and rocks the boat a little bit and puts you off your aim as you let loose the arrow and it sticks into Call's boat with a thud.
Ah, God damn it!
Don't shoot me, I'm on your side.
Yeah, that's gonna be your turn unless you want to try to move anywhere, which assuming you don't. Oh, go ahead.
On the boat? No. I don't want to jump in the water, so I think I'm just going to call it.
Okay, sounds good. Yes, the creature of the ocean is going to once again try to reach out and grab our friend Call here. Call, one more time, what was that AC for me?
17.
17. God damn it. Okay. Nope. You are good, my friend. So he, once again, 2 tentacles rise up out of the water. And it showers and sprays ocean and slime kind of all over the area as it's whirling around trying to grab hold. It's smashing onto the boat, but it cannot find you. You're able to avoid it once again, as if through some act of God. All right. Call, your turn, my friend. What would you like to do? Barbarian rage still flowing through your veins.
I would like to take my large halberd and repeat what happened last time.
Okay, absolutely. Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Feel the fury of the Kenku people.
21.
21. That'll
hit.
absolutely do it. That'll hit. Go ahead and roll me some damage.
$13.
13. Fantastic. Yes, once again, sort of as these 2 tentacles are flailing about above your boat, you're able to bring the halberd down and just slash into one of these and again chop it off. The tentacle, the end of it actually falls into the boat and starts kind of flailing around, again spraying this blue ichor slime. Yeah. So I think, let's see here. Maybe make a quick thing. Okay, yeah, this thing is not looking too good. There's a ton of blue ooze and slime and what you assume is blood leaking out of it, not only onto Call's boat, but also into the water. Um, Nigel, this thing is looking like it might be on its last legs or maybe tentacles. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm not really the most diversified character. So in this particular situation, we're going to Firebolt once again.
We are level 1, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, level 1 wizards don't have necessarily everything to do, but you be patient. Don't worry.
We got a 19 on the Firebolt.
19.
Third cantrip of the
Absolutely.
day. So that will
Yep.
be a hit. And we will roll a d10 for damage.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be 6 again.
6 once again. Nigel, tell me in what way this fire blast kills the giant octopus.
I'm feeling like it's it's bleeding, its tentacles are flailing around. It's maybe risen to the surface just a little bit more, and maybe this one gets it in its big old
Absolutely.
blubbery eye just below the surface. And I just point my staff and shoot out that one little firebolt right into its eyeball. And just before it connects, I see a big tear that looks like it's dripping out of it. It looks sad. It just wanted dinner.
Absolutely. You do just that, taking advantage of the opportunity. This octopus maybe rising to the surface. You now can see that it's a giant octopus. If you couldn't tell already, no crazy mythical creature, but definitely looking to make you guys a snack. Yeah, and you see this like kind of beak and where its eye would be raise up, and thinking quickly, you cast this firebolt directly into that vulnerable area, and with an explosion of gore, the eye kind of pops with this sickening explosion, and you're covered with this green and yellow kind of slime, as the firebolt essentially mini explosions inside of this giant octopus.
Hot damn.
And yeah, it
Anyone for some calamari?
perfect. Yeah, it is kind of just floating now on the surface of the lake here, and the tentacles just completely ragdoll. It's sort of floating, and drifting away slowly from you. I like it. I like it. And I think with that explosive end to the combat, that we will probably go ahead and call it there for this campaign.
Session.
For the camp session, yeah, not the whole campaign.
The
You
end.
defeated the octopus. You're done forever. No, just this session. So we'll I think next time we're going to be starting a little bit early, maybe even going a little bit later. But this is a nice happy time before we get into the real kind of adventure.
Well, this was awesome.
This is so much
I
fun.
feel like we got to get to know the characters, and it was very relatable and fun situations. I saw lots of positive comments in the chat. People loved the NPCs. People loved all the characters. I'm stoked. This is a really nice dynamic. It's awesome to have you guys on.
Hells
Yeah.
yeah, this was awesome. So much fun. Thanks, Apot. Awesome DMing.
Oh my god. I spent most of my time just like cracking up. So good. So good with the voices.
We need to give 2 special shout outs here. One for Cobra Venom. He's doing all the magic that is making these scenes appear. My hands are basically off when it comes to the OBS for this, so he's doing all of that work. Also, credit to him for the calamari joke. That was also him.
That was an epic one. I almost cackled on mic when I read that in chat.
And the lovely art that you see on the screen here is done by Body Pop, now known as Body V, doing some cool rebranding there. We're doing this every other Thursday, 8 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Hawaii time. Do the math for whatever your time zone is. If there are any changes to that, we'll try to keep you updated in advance. But yep, we're just off to the races here with a brand new story. Really nice dynamic, amazing people. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been awesome streaming for you. And look for us the week after next.
Take care, everybody. It's been awesome.
Until then, and be careful when you're taking a boat out onto a lake.
Or don't, and if you like the tentacle action, I mean, you do you.
Good lord.
GG, everybody. This will be on YouTube. This will be on podcast. See you on the next one.